Inmates who broke out of jail last week remain at large, and now a jail worker is accused of helping the men get away.
Authorities say they've arrested an Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office employee who they believe helped 10 inmates escape were not immediately revealed. The inmates escaped through a hole in a wall behind a toilet in the early hours of Friday at the Orleans Justice Center. Since the escape, Sheriff Susan Hudson has pointed to long-standing deficiencies such as faulty locks and staffing shortages. But a growing number of state and local officials have blamed her for failing to keep the inmates locked up. I'm Marcela Sanchez.
They burned the midnight oil on Capitol Hill. House Republicans preparing President Trump's massive budget bill for a vote, possibly as soon as today. Along with extending the Trump tax cuts, the bill would partially fund the president's Golden Dome missile defense system. A testy exchange between Secretary of State Rubio and Democrat Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia. The dust-up spurred in part by the administration granting refugee status to a group of white South African farmers.
You are entitled to entrance as a refugee if you demonstrate a well-justified fear of persecution.
No, you're not entitled.
So can you have a different standard based upon the color of somebody's skin? Would that be acceptable?
Well, I'm not the one arguing that. Apparently you are, because you don't like the fact that they're white, and that's why they're coming.
I'm just asking you to say that would be unacceptable.
Well, no,
that
I would say that the United States...
a very easy thing to say.
The United States has a right to pick and choose who they allow into the United States.
Even based on the color of somebody's skin.
You're the one that's talking about the color of their skin, not me. These are people whose farms were being burned down and they were killed because of the color of their skin.
The administration says the farmers have been the victims of genocide, the charge denied by the South African government. Watching Wall Street ahead of the opening bell, the Dow futures down 368 points. NASDAQ futures off 146. More on these stories at townhall.com.
If you're living with pain, see how Relief Factor can help.
I'm an artist, and I'm in my studio. I listen to the radio all day, and I'm hearing the ads about Relief Factor. And I've got pain in my neck, and it's getting worse. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going to go ahead and order this. 2 weeks later, I've got much better range of motion. If you're experiencing pain at a certain point in life, I would get Relief Factor.
Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor. Go to ReliefFactor.com and get your 3-week quick start today. Only $19.95.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. Offer valid through 7/2025. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
He just can't get enough of those lofty heights.
A British climber who scaled Mount Everest for the 19th time has broken his own record for the most ascents of the world's highest peak by a non-Sherpa guide. 51-year-old Kenton Cole from southwest England says he'll climb again next year.
I've got at least one more because I've got a client for next year.
Cole says that while Everest is relatively unchanged, he's noticed the glaciers are shrinking.
Global warming is a real thing, and it's affecting glaciers in Europe, in South America, in the Himalayas. And this is going to be a big problem in the next 10 years.
I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Iran's top diplomat is insisting that Tehran will never stop enriching uranium. It further underlines the Islamic Republic's red line in negotiations with the United States over Iran's rapidly expanding nuclear program. News and analysis at townhall.com. They're raising a legal fuss over the alleged deportation of a dozen or so migrants.
Immigration authorities appear to have begun deporting immigrants from Myanmar and Vietnam to South Sudan, despite a court order on removals of immigrants to countries other than their homelands, without first having a chance to challenge those removals. Attorneys for the National Immigration Litigation Alliance say that up to a dozen people from several countries may have been deported to an African country. They are asking a judge in Massachusetts for an emergency order to prevent such removals. That judge previously ruled that deportations to Libya would violate the court order. South Sudan's political landscape is considered very fragile. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Target missed Wall Street's target for sales in the first quarter. Sales tumbled in Q1. The discount retailer now cutting its forecast for the full year. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is
going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat.
Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel wishing, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy middle of the week.
Ah, yes.
You made it to Wednesday.
Wednesday is Friday's Wednesday.
That's true.
I don't know. Tuesday is Wednesday's Wednesday, so I guess Wednesday is Friday's Wednesday.
Well, this week with schools and all that, like we're down to I guess 3 days because we haven't really started the school day yet.
Technically, this is Hunter's last day.
Ah.
Yes, I'm going to have to sneak out a bit early during the show tomorrow because Hunter's graduation begins at 9.
Nice.
So,
yeah. So he's done Friday then? He doesn't have to go in Friday?
Yeah, Friday's an off day for him.
Good deal.
And as far as Thursday, it's basically just go to graduation, go home.
Nice.
So,
of course, the high school graduations begin tomorrow. University High and then Roswell Goddard. We will have all of those on KSVTV.com.
Yes, we will. They were doing something interesting. Actually, my daughter was sort of telling me about this, and I kind of got confirmation over the weekend. I guess the high schools were taking trips to their respective elementary and middle schools that they went to, and kind of walking through. And when I heard it, my first reaction was, "Oh, like the last episode of Survivor." You know, like that, like they started that at the beginning of the path, and you haven't watched it in a while, but every
they
season
walk and there's usually like a torch and it talks about the different people got kicked off.
Music playing while they show like a sign with like Colby, and it'll say, "I was a fighter to the," you know.
Do they still do that?
I think so. I haven't watched it in a while either, but I feel like that's what that is. It's like a tour of all of your memories, maybe saying hi to teachers and stuff.
Right.
Thanking them for their service.
Well, speaking of Survivor, you mentioned now trigger my head. I watched over the weekend. Now I'm familiar with the Naked and Afraid series that's been on for years on Discovery, where they basically do, live naked in extreme conditions for however long they can.
Right.
But they've pivoted and had like a spin-off show, and I guess it's been out for a couple seasons, but I just saw I guess they premiered the third season of it over the weekend. It's like I can't remember the name of it. It's like Naked and Afraid, and it's almost a Survivor-esque like competition.
Oh, yeah?
Where they get, because if you ever watch the show, like they have the people and then they rate like their survival skill ratings, and they give them these scores and all that. And so they get like past.
Last one standing?
Yeah, there you go. So they get past Naked and Afraid like competitors.
This is so weird.
And they compete like in individual challenges and stuff like that. Like the one I watched over the weekend, they basically had to build a fire and then float it out in the middle of a lake and light the torch thing they had, the fire they had in the thing. And then I guess they can eliminate like Survivor based on, they like the top ones got like a special thing like a bow or fishing gear, and then the middle ones get to be safe, and then like the bottom two and female male, they'll have to compete to see if they get to stay, and then the one who loses. And it's kind of funny because I guess if you've watched this show for a while, you probably know these people. I know none of them, but they all talk like they know each other. It's like, oh, the Gooch is here, or whoever it is.
Having watched enough Survivor, I know how awkward a show like that is, and how the interactions with total strangers like that, and the isolation, and now take everybody's clothes off. that just really makes everything. Oh God, that's got to be awkward.
Well, the thing that I noticed is like they give them their little kit with their stuff, and it's in a big satchel, and that they hang over their.
Yeah.
And the satchel is by default their loincloth.
That'll work.
For most, I mean, that's like whenever you watch like the angles. Oh, they show butts all day on there, but as far as the fronts, they usually have you put the angles right, or they blur it, or they will have the satchel placed in a proper position to do what it's got to do.
I just with biology being what biology is, I mean, you
the
can't.
part that is hard is they're literally like,
don't say it like that.
is forget all the, like, if you're thinking it's sexy, no.
Well, that's just what I was going to say. I was looking at the cast. There are a couple of relatively attractive people on the cast.
Well, and here's the thing, though. They
I'm sure that all flies out the window when survivalism and a contest is at stake.
But I think the part you're missing is, and this is another layer, is they're literally living in the Australia outback out there, and home to like every poisonous snake in the world, and they're just goofing around barefoot out there.
Yeah,
I mean, forget the rest of them. There's no shoes. I'm like, what are you doing, Harry?
Not even that, but are they checking for ticks? I mean, that's a big deal out there.
Oh, they got all kinds of ticks and snakes. Like literally, the one
ticks
built their little shelter
killer,
or whatever, and snake curled up with them in the middle of the night.
I'm out.
But she was too.
Get me to my pants and a plane.
She got out of that thing that night. Next morning, she pulled chalk. She was out.
Yeah, she probably messed her lack of pants.
Yeah,
I would have.
So, I don't think I liked the show. I mean, it was all right. There was nothing on Sunday, so I was just watching it and that's the first time I really invested in any kind of naked. I mean, I've seen the commercials, but
sometimes it feels like they do a spin-off when they don't really have an idea. They're just going to see what happens. Like they did it with Naked and Afraid, because there was a spin-off called XXL or something like that.
Okay.
It was like, I don't know if it would, the trips were extended or
bigger people.
I don't know. That was a spin-off for a quick minute. It was Naked and Afraid XXL.
Well, this is the spin-off, and this one I guess got some legs because this is season 3. That's the only reason I stopped. I was like, oh, the first episode. I said, all right, if I'm going to catch it, that's a good place to catch it.
It's true.
And so I watched it, and I'm like, it was all right, but it filled a 2 hours of void. That's what it did.
Even in places like the Australian outback, it gets cold sometimes. It rains sometimes. I mean, how do you stay warm? I mean, I know you can have a blanket and stuff like that, but
I will tell you this: if they went in, what would have been our winter, their summer, they don't worry about it getting cold. I mean, it's warm enough the whole time that
that's
not cold. And they build shelters and fires.
Yeah,
that's what they do. No,
that's just
all these people are technically skilled survivalists. They have the abilities to light fires and without matches, and do the things that that Les Stroud teaches you on his thing.
I gotta eventually when I'm confident enough I can do it without burning the building down. I'm gonna bring in. I bought these windproof, waterproof matches.
Okay.
You can strike one, submerge it in water completely for seconds, bring it back up, and it's still lit.
Yeah, I don't feel like a safety hazard.
No, not at all. No, not in this dry tinderbox. Not at all.
That's like a deadly version of those birthday candles that won't blow out when you. So it's like, all right, throws it in another good place for good smoke.
So yeah, no, I can't necessarily. Put it this way, I haven't started a fire in a really long time, but I feel like right now I have all of the tools necessary to start a great one.
I feel like they gimmick the living daylight. After I'm hearing the match story, I think you got a bunch of gimmicky stuff, dude.
Dude, it's windproof and waterproof. It's guaranteed to start a fire.
All right, I haven't done a lot of this in 30 years. But I spent a lot of time doing wilderness survival stuff in Scouts.
Sure.
A lot of that crap you bought is hokum. The saws,
the pocket saw, that was
a lot of that is hot garbage.
I know. Oh, I agree. But the fire starter stuff is legit. Like the wax with the rope, that's all.
Your best, all you need is a little spark kit.
I have a flint.
That's all you need.
I got that.
Everything
too.
else is That's the simplest method to start a fire.
Having watched Survivor
matches.
enough, I know you got to scrape a little of the flint off to get onto your tinder.
It is by far the easiest way to start a fire without the use of matches or a lighter or something like that. It's way better than magnifying glass. It's certainly better than the rub with the bow. And I mean, that's if you just want to be
I
tired.
also plan on carrying a Bic around too. That's in any fire starting situation, I'm going to be able to flick my Bic.
To be honest, your biggest issue with the flint and steel is not losing it.
Yeah,
because once you do, you're out of luck.
Well, hence the rest of the survival pack.
But yeah, as a guy that did some of a lot of that survival stuff is hot garbage.
Yeah, but I want to find out.
Yeah, find out in your backyard, not actually out in the woods.
Well, I was thinking during the apocalypse. That's when you really that's the find out moment. You know?
I've been keeping up with The Last of Us, and so I'm actually usually I wait but I've been watching this one episodic.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, they kind of did us dirty a little bit on that. Now I'm not trying to because people get up in arms and you get on social media and everyone complains about this and that. They kind of bag on that poor girl that's the star of the show, and I'm like, is that really necessary? Dang. But anyway, what kind of made me mad was not this past Sunday's episode, but the one before. They kind of leave you with this cliffhanger-y moment, and then they just end this bad boy. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm going to get some answers this week. Oh no, this was the spin-off episode of all right, pull back the curtain. Season 1 ends with a thing. Season 2 picks up like 5 years later.
Okay.
So this episode kind of recaps what happened in that 5 years between episode 1 and 2, which I'm going to take a stab is going to lead us to
the answer to the episode that you're talking about. And that's the thing about this show that I've heard a lot of people say is it jumps around like crazy.
It does a little bit, yeah. But it's still, to me, I like it. But as a person that's now got to wait episode each week, I'm kind of salty to like, dang it. I mean, if I had waited and binged, I would have just had to wait, till the next episode thing clicks over.
They did something like that on Stranger Things.
Yeah.
In season 2, it was episode 6 leading into 7. They left you on this big cliffhanger in episode 6. And then episode 7 was completely, it was like I don't even know if it's canon.
Yeah.
But they cut to where all the rest of the 7s are. Like, 1, 2, 3, 11, all those. The place where they were like imbuing the kids or finding the kids with the powers.
Right.
And it's a completely different story of like this origin story of, it almost feels like they were trying to do a spinoff, but it's like you'll hear people say, oh, season 2, episode 7 of Stranger Things. Cause that's exactly what it is. Yeah. It's a complete veer off of the actual story.
Yeah.
In those situations though, you can binge the whole thing. So it's not that bad, but when you have to wait another week to get an answer, that sucks.
And maybe this is, I'm not fandom enough, but I seem to remember watching Stranger Things. And then in the first season, she runs into like a group of like those girls that are just like them. And they kind of just, I haven't heard of them since. Like
that was season 2. That's what I'm talking about.
I know, but that never ended. Like, are we going to find out at the end? Like, are they
That's a great question.
Like, I feel like they threw that at us and they just said, let's just pivot and go with this other thing.
That's what I'm saying. It feels like they were trying, like the Duffer Brothers were like, hey, let's see if we can eke a spinoff out of this. And nobody was interested.
I got a feeling it's going to, because this is the final season whenever it comes out here, Christmas or summer, or wherever it's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Is it this summer?
I believe it's this summer.
Like August or something?
Like late summer, yeah.
Yeah. I got to believe they're going to come around to that at some point. Like, I feel like maybe that's where she goes at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's like an L11 camp for more 11s or whatever.
Well, that's sort of what they allude to in that episode is that there's like a society of
But maybe that's where it goes. Maybe that they just brought it to us to say, here they are, and now we're going to, because I am not going to lie, that whole time I've been watching, I'm like, what happened to the other kids that have, like, I see all this chaos and the upside down world. Are these other kids just like at the malt shop having burgers and fries waiting for 11 to take care of this? What's going on?
I think the thought from the average viewer was, well, they're not up to snuff that 11 is, so they didn't make it.
Okay, maybe, but
tell us the end of that story.
Elle's the only one that's got the skills.
Right.
The rest are just muggles, like the rest of us.
Right.
They survive just fine.
Well, they have Elle.
Oh, the other ones have powers.
No, that's the beauty of that show is right when you're like, oh, there's no way. Somebody's going to die here.
Yeah.
Something happens, and oh, look at that.
But and then I got to play the interview. But the more pressing need, what is the big product they're going to hawk in this final season?
It's a great question.
Is it like they did Baskin Robbins? I think it was Domino's. Yeah, they've done a couple.
I think at this point they're in 88.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much they're going to age the kids in the 5 years since they did the last season.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, most of those kids look like they're in their mid to late 20s now.
It's like they
don't look like kids no more.
Yeah, look like they got kids of their own. But yeah, I'd be curious about that. 88?
11 is married.
Yeah.
She has a farm. You know, I mean, that's...
We're not going to bring back Crystal Pepsi again, because that'd be right around that time.
That would be... Well, they did that... Oh, Chris, you know what? Crystal Pepsi. That was early 90s.
Was that late? I thought it was in the late
90,
80s.
I want to say 90, or 91.
So would
92.
88 be New Coke, Classic Coke time?
They did New Coke last season.
Yeah.
So I think this season, what was big in 88? Bubble tape? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
There
It'll
you
be
go.
exciting. All right, let me give you the rundown for today's show. We're going to replay our interview we had with the folks from the Chaves County Extension Office yesterday. Of course, Tamara Schubert, Katie Wright joined us. Also, their intern for the next month or so, Zenaida Lavario, joined us as well. So we had a great little conversation with them talking about some upcoming events. We'll play that here in just a minute. Don Weld, wearing his Friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge hat, going to join us here in, I believe we're talking, Bitter Lake today, zoo tomorrow. But he'll join us to get us an update on what's going on with the Friends. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, Gary Thrine with the Roswell Chamber of Commerce will pop in and give us a visit on updates and things happening through the Chamber of Commerce.
Lunchables. Lunchables were introduced in 1988, and they quickly became a popular snack and lunch option. So I'll bet it'll have something to do with that.
There we go.
Lean cuisines were also introduced in 88, so maybe they'll lean into that.
They're kids. They're not eating lean
No,
cuisines.
but Mom, like the Winona Ryder character.
Oh, yeah.
She opens the fridge, and they'll just have like a lean cuisine sitting in the fridge.
Yeah. Smoking Virginia Slims.
Yeah. Misty 120s. Come on. Have some class, man.
All right, it is 7:22. Here is your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Temperatures pretty warm over the next couple of days. We have high pressure parked over the Four Corners, and that'll be covering our area. We're expecting low to mid 90s today. It should be sunny. Overnight looks clear, upper 50s to about 60 on the low. Getting hot on Thursday, upper 90s and lots of sunshine. We'll hit about 100 for the high on Friday, and sunny should stay sunny through the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 56 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 28%. Winds currently out of the north at 8 miles per hour. Sunny today and 92 the expected high. Winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour, shifting to the southeast later this afternoon. Skies will be clear tonight with an overnight low of 58 degrees. Winds will be out of the southeast 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, warming up a little bit more. 95 our expected high tomorrow. Winds out of the northwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday night, mostly clear skies. Overnight low of 66 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, near the century mark. Now they're saying a 98 officially for a high on Friday under sunny skies. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy Friday night. Overnight low of 62. And then looking at the Memorial Day weekend, Saturday mostly sunny and 99. Sunday, sunny skies and 91. And then for Memorial Day itself, there is a 20% chance at afternoon showers, otherwise mostly sunny and 82, and a 20% that night as well. So we shall see how that shapes up. All right, it is 7:24. We're going to take a 3.5-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview we had with the folks from the Chaves County Extension Office. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Do you know what the hardest part of dealing with the roofer is? Just trying to get them on the phone. Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that you can always trust Trustmark Roofing to answer our phone. Need a free roof inspection? Just call us at 575-755-ROOF and we'll answer with a live person, a real human being. Have a roofing project already going with us and need to discuss it? Just call 575-755-ROOF and we will answer the phone. No answering machine, no voicemails, and no weird robot automated attendant. That's because at Trustmark Roofing, we're all about relationships and treating people right. That's true for customers and vendors and insurance companies and employees. Anyone and everyone who comes in contact with our company. So if you have any roofing needs at all, trust Trustmark to treat you right and to answer the phone. Our number again is 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first. Spring has sprung, so it's time to move on into the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop in Roswell. Now the Cow is an authorized handy quilter long-arm dealer. Spring fabrics are here and summer fabrics are arriving daily, plus quilts, shirts, and rope bowls made right here at the Calico Cow. Brother sewing machines with warranties are also on sale. Plus, the Calico Cow can fix and perform maintenance on all brands. Log on to RoswellQuilting.com. Spring into the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, 200 East College in Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
Got a wedding, birthday, or quinceañera coming up? Southwest Printers can bring your invitation ideas to life. Southwest Printers specializes in one-of-a-kind invitations for weddings, birthdays, quinceañeras, or any special event. With a wide range of papers and finishes, Southwest Printers can make your invitations truly special, unique, and personal. And that's not all. Southwest Printers offers a wide variety of printing services. If you can think it, they can print it. Take your ideas to the next level with Southwest Printers at the southwest corner of 2nd and Pennsylvania in Roswell. Call 575-622-1820.
At Martine's Capital Cafe, come in and enjoy a delicious variety for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try our burritos, huevos rancheros, asado, chorizo, sausage, flantas, fajitas, chili rellenos, quesadillas, enchiladas, sopapillas, and don't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger and so much more. Everything is prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Martine's Capital Cafe. Quality, value, tradition, and the most delicious New Mexican food since 1989. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th Street in Roswell.
Are rates and inflation getting you down? Roswell Nissan thinks 0 is a much better number, as in 0.0% on brand new 2025 Nissan Pathfinders, and low rates on brand new Armadas, Rogues, and Altimas. Roswell Nissan is the home of the largest used car supercenter in the state. A massive selection of trucks and SUVs, including a huge selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. And now through May 31st, get no payments for 90 days, and payments as low as $199 a month. Think low, think 0 at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
In a medical emergency, every second counts. Artesia General Hospital's emergency department is open 24/7, staffed with highly trained professionals ready to provide life-saving care when you need it most. Don't wait. When minutes matter, trust Artesia General Hospital. Quality emergency care close to home. Learn more at artesiageneral.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suit's for the astronauts. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us. Good morning. It is 29 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Chavez County Extension Office, Tamara Schubert and Katie Wright back with us. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
In unison and everything. Check you
We
out.
tried really hard, Mike.
And brought a guest with you today.
We
an
did.
intern that's going to spend about a month or so with you guys here. I was going to do the joke, but I won't. Zenaida joining us here. I was going to do the Zendaya. Good morning, Zenaida. How are you today?
Good morning.
We had a whole conversation about her name, so we had some fun there. So, of course, the thing that, now that graduations this week and things like that, I guess you guys, 4-H fair, that's kind of like, this is like that time of year for you guys, right? That's kind of all hands on deck. Even on the home ec side, kind of the things you do, Tamara, kind of, all right, we're shifting to 4-H and cooking and that, the
We have a
stuff.
few other programs that are going on this summer, but fair and youth are definitely our big one as school gets out.
Absolutely. So please, if you're wanting to get all this, now's the time to get. But I'm also getting, really, this isn't kind of sign-up season for 4-H, but this is kind of advertising 4-H
Yeah.
Like, this is the biggest stage that 4-H usually gets is this time of year.
So we always welcome new friends, but our participation or competition deadline for the year has passed.
Gotcha.
So you're welcome to join us and get a feel for it for next year. But really just come out, support our kids. So we've got county fair, Eastern fair, state fair, all the good stuff, indoor exhibits, livestock. It's wild.
Yeah. and this is the thing, too, that, yes, the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, that one kind of advertises itself. We get tons of folks and coming out here. But this summer, when the Chavez County Fair comes out, no, they don't have the carnival rides and things, but the rest of it's the fair, So if you want the food, you want the shopping, all the things like that a lot of it's out there, but it really is the focus on what's going on in the livestock ring and what's going on in the education building, and that's where all the entertainment is. And so, like, if you go to the Eastern New Mexico State Fair and you just go to ride the rides and stuff and miss those shows, and I get it, it's busy sometimes, you don't have, the Chavez County Fair gives you just an ample opportunity. If you've never seen a livestock show, if you've never seen how that works, if you've never participated in an auction at the end of the fair, that's a great one to learn all, because that's really all the focus and attention is on that. There's not as many distractions with, where can I get a chicken leg or whatever it is, which, don't get me wrong, those are good distractions, but and there's still some of that at this fair too, but this really is where the fair has always been a focus on the kids. The Chavez County Fair, there really isn't any other spotlight other than what's on the
And
kids.
these are the local kids.
Yes.
These are your kids here in Roswell, in Dexter, in Hagerman, in Lake Arthur, and you can see all of their hard work. There are qualification levels to go on to state and Eastern Fair, so you're not getting to appreciate everybody and all they're doing at those others. They're fun. They're great. You should go to those too. But man, the Chavez County Fair is where you support our local kids doing awesome things.
And you really get to, and this is, I didn't grow up farm life. I grew up in D.C. So, I know where my food comes from, and I'm not that dumb. But
chocolate milk doesn't come from a brown cow.
No, it's the brown and white ones. Everyone knows that.
We'll be back for an ag literacy segment.
All right, Zenaida, this is what we can fix, okay?
Your next project.
But I don't have a lot of knowledge about raising farm livestock and farm animals and those types of things, and so for me, I go to watch the fair, and I'm impressed because what happens is you're seeing, especially kids that are barely coming up to your waist. Some of these, those early younger 4-Hers, they're really handling things that are way bigger than them, and they're doing it with a professionalism and a skill that is very impressive. And that blows me. It blows me away every single time I see some 9-year-old boy or girl, and they're handling a 800-pound steer.
Yep.
And they don't get there overnight.
Yeah.
That is months and months of hard work and time spent in the barn.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that's where I come to feel like, man, that's impressive. It's because especially from someone who comes really just completely void of knowledge of how to do these things. It impresses. I'm just like, wow, that is so impressive. I don't know if I could have done what that child's doing had I been that child's age, and now don't get me wrong, it's a lot of fun too, because I don't care what anybody says. You want the cheapest fun you could ever have? Just hang out for the swine show. Just go. You don't even need to get tickets. Just find out when the swine show is, get you a seat. Because that's going to be the funnest hours of show you've ever had. Because the kids, and you get all the above, the kids and the hard work and all that, but pigs do what pigs want to do. And so there's a lot of kids running around with boards trying to wrangle pigs around, and it's just fun to watch. It's like the same reason why we watch like when they show the little kids play hockey in between periods and falling around the ice and their football. Same thing's going on here in the farm world. It's
Pigs
so much
have
fun.
a lot of personality, and they can get stubborn or sassy real quick.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fun. Get some popcorn. Just sit back, get you Coke and a popcorn.
Popcorn and pigs.
Yeah.
New program.
And it is one of the most fun things. So yes, when the Chavez County Fair rolls around here in July, And please don't just watch the shows on, because we'll be carrying them like we do every year on KSVP TV. We'll have our Travis County Fair channel. So please, all you grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles and everybody live out of town, root your kids on. It's for the fair. But if you get a chance, when that week's going on, even if it's like, hey, take your lunch hour out there, go and support some of the food things. 4-H sells some great ice cream. I imagine you stock up on while you're there for dessert, and then go check out a livestock show or do something like that. Just go out there. It's not like the Eastern Fair where you have to pay fees to get in and all. You really just roll in, walk up to the livestock ring and catch a seat. So really is that easy.
So that they can mark their calendars. The county horse show is going to start on July the 19th.
Okay.
And then the shows will take place starting on July 21st.
Very good. And then one thing we always want to, and we'll talk more about it as we get closer to the event, but the big point of the week will be the junior livestock auction on the last day of the fair there. And,
on the 25th.
And that is where the kids that do win the various categories here get an option to sell the animal. And how this works is that money, depending on their age, if they're a little older, this is going towards college, things like that. But if they're 8, 9, this is going towards their next project, their next thing. So it's always cool to see because people will spend way more money than what the market value for said animal is to support these kids, and it's really cool, and it gets competitive and gets fun, and we ain't gonna lie, folks in Travis County trying to beat the folks in Eddy County and vice versa on who can raise more money, and it's always fun and game, and they always try to outdo each other every year, and I think some years you guys win, some years they win. It all kind of comes out in the wash.
It's all about the kids. It's all about
Even
the kids.
if you are not wanting to buy an animal, it is an incredible thing to watch.
Yeah.
And just be there and support. It's so much fun. It's entertaining.
And you can get in on stuff too. Like a lot of people, like I can't afford thousands of dollars for one of these animals, but everyone's like, I'll chip in $50. And because at the end of the day, it's about the kids, and it's to support them and to show, because I don't care who you are, where you come from, what your background is, you better support every one of those kids because they're going to be the ones feeding you and your family for the next generation, and they're going to have more mouths to feed and less resources to do it. So whatever we can do to support them, this is what we got to do.
Absolutely.
So get your butt out to the fair and go check out a show. See, I went real philosophical there and gone back.
Right back. Okay, Mike, I'm going to change it on you. So while we're waiting for fair, we are still having 4-H Day at the library.
Excellent.
So we will be in Hagerman tomorrow afternoon doing some leather craft.
All right.
And then in June, we're going to take a look at wildlife. And we will be staying with the Roswell Library all summer this year.
For the summer reading program and everything?
Yes,
Perfect.
sir. So I believe that is the second Tuesday.
Second Wednesday.
Second Wednesday.
Good deal.
And in Roswell, and then we'll see what Hagerman looks like for the summer and let you guys know.
Excellent. But stay tuned. Summer or programs, the library programs will continue throughout the summer in some way, shape, or form, both at Roswell and Hagerman libraries this summer.
They don't have to be enrolled in 4-H to come see us at the library. Come taste it, figure out what it's all about.
Yeah.
Take a look, see.
Well,
hang
that's
out.
the whole point is you come see, and this is the big, hey, do you like this? This is kind of what we do in 4-H. Come check it out. So.
Yes.
And, of course, I'm going to assume the Master Gardeners are going to continue their stuff at the library each month, too, here.
I believe so.
They also, they each get a weekend there where sometimes it's the Master Gardeners, and they're talking about, they give you all the great useful tips on planting gardens or making your grass look good or anything. Basically, they know a lot about stuff that we pretend to know about, and they kind of infuse that into you. And then if you want stuff more family with the kids, and come out to the 4-H weekends and take part of the projects that are there each month. Usually you either get fed or you get to take home stuff. Each one's kind of unique to each one.
Yes.
What about for extension clubs and some of the stuff going on the home ec side?
Yeah, so our extension clubs have a couple of other trainings left this year. So we've got one coming up on June the 5th at 5:30. They're going to be holding or hosting a training on freeze drying.
Nice.
So that's one of the things that's new over the last, 5 years?
Well, you see the cost of food and cost of things, and so buying in bulk and preserving and stuff. So this might be some good information to help you do those kinds of things.
You've got the kids home for summer, and snacks are expensive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, maybe we can do See, and this is, again, where I grew up. Because the Amish, they like to put things in jars, from meats to veggies to everything else. Maybe we ought to have... Now, I ain't going to lie. I've never tried said meat out of their jar, but they swear by it.
So canning is really popular.
Yeah.
Freeze drying has become extremely popular because
Sure.
it's a great way to
That seems more
preserve.
preserve
Yeah.
friendly to me, but I don't know. It seems more... but I'm guessing certain foods you can and cannot do that to, right?
On one end.
Freeze drying.
It depends, right? Everything comes out a little bit different,
Sure.
but I've seen them do some weird things.
Okay.
Isn't that how they
I
make
say
astronaut
weird.
ice cream?
But I've seen
Right?
them do I've seen them do milk. You laugh. You can do eggs. You can do bread. You can do. I saw Jell-O done the other day.
That would be fun.
Interesting. I will tell you this. You said something that I'm going to just throw the tip out. If you ever go to Washington, D.C., and you go to the Air and Space Museum there, you have not done it right unless you got astronaut ice cream out of the gift shop there.
You can get astronaut ice cream at the Space Museum in Alamogordo.
I have had it there, yeah. And by the way, separate the flavors. You know, the Neapolitan I appreciate, but I don't like the strawberry. Just give me a whole thing of those chocolate ones, please, and we'll call it good. Anyway, sorry.
So note to self,
Right.
freeze dry Mike, chocolate ice cream.
Yeah, and that's the cool part is with the extension clubs, you get to learn these things, and putting a pitch in for Extension Club, the thing we always kind of call it is 4-H for adults. That's kind of the unofficial what it is. And so if you have an interest or a passion or a hobby, maybe let's talk about find some other people who do, and we'll start an Extension Club about it here. You know, like what's some of the active clubs that are kind of on the regular right now?
So we have 4 clubs within Travis County that are going strong right now. One of them is focused on quilting.
Okay.
They meet one Saturday a month. Our other clubs are kind of open. They're
Okay.
craft clubs, so
All right.
their
It's a
activities could
hodgepodge
change.
of just whatever we feel like making that week.
All of our clubs in general are great with community service. They do the Books for Newborns programs
Okay.
at the hospitals. They make nursing cover-ups for the hospitals.
Nice. So they can do a lot of outreach as well as
They
just
do,
having it with their
absolutely.
interest. Cool.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of new ones that are looking at coming up next year
Okay.
as we get our move taken care of this year to over
That's
to
right.
the new facility.
Next
So-
year is the new building, right?
Yes.
Like, have y'all licked claims offices and all that?
I think it was assigned.
we did get to go in the other day
Alright.
and kind of look at some things. So they should finish up with the new building towards August.
Okay.
So we're really hoping that kind of after fair season, hopefully we can
But
get
yeah, by the time-
transitioned over.
Well, it probably right in between the county fairs and right before the Eastern New Mexico State fairs.
Yes.
And maybe the...
In between state fair.
Yeah, in between state
and the
fair.
air races.
Oh,
and
Oh, yeah. We had a few more wrinkles this year,
Yeah.
too. So well, that'd be exciting, finally, because we've been talking about this for years now. It's kind of neat to...
It's coming to fruition.
Drew didn't show up today, so don't forget to design various pranks to his desks and things before he moves in. You know,
Okay, you got it.
I would have said same about one of y'all if you didn't show up either. And Drew was here. Speaking of Drew, is there anything on the ag side that we need to put on people's radar?
So most of what Drew's got going on right now required some pre-enrollments, and so Summer's very busy on his end too, doing
Okay.
house calls, things like that. He will be doing our training in September for our urban winter gardening.
Gotcha.
For the extension clubs, but he's
Okay.
got youth ranch management camp and stuff like that coming up this summer.
Yeah, Drew has a lot of, and when he's not hosting these things, he has to go and participate in these things to learn about the things to host those things. So Drew spends a lot of time in symposiums and things. I feel, those kind of events and stuff, doesn't he?
Well, he is great. He spends a lot of time out with our farmers and our
Sure.
ranchers answering questions, things like that.
But what I mean is he you know what I'm saying, he's of all of you, he's the one that has to go out and do a lot of, go places to learn things.
Ag is a constantly changing industry,
Well,
and we are
it's-
always evolving. So
Well, it's all science. It's
It is
really,
science.
I mean, everything when it comes to farming and ranching is science. This to do this begats this, and you got to find the best way to do this to begat this. So whether it's a
and then
cow or
surprise, there's a
corn.
new something.
Exactly. And then they spawn off into this thing. It's like, oh, that corn tastes different. That's a blah 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 corn with a hint of whatever this is over here. These are scientific terms. But yeah, and so but that makes sense that he has to do it. And by the way, if you have any kind of questions in terms of that stuff, don't hesitate to call the extension office and put it on Drew's radar. If he can't answer it directly, he will hunt down the source to get you that answer. That's what he does. And of course, if you have any stuff with, like, if you need your pesticide licensing and all that kind of stuff, Drew can handle all that.
And those will be coming up typically in November.
Gotcha. Very good. As far as, like, you with the fair stuff and all that, but what's like it, to sign up right now? It like, obviously they can't start in competitions thing, but will they kind of like shadow? Like, say, okay, well, this is how they raise it. Go hang out with this person.
They are absolutely welcome to go ahead and join. Find a club that fits you. Attend workshops. Learn all the goodies. Really, the only limit is that they can't compete until the next enrollment season. So, absolutely join us. There's no reason not to.
If you're one that likes information and likes to know what you're getting into, getting in early now and kind of being on the sidelines and watching it will better prepare you for being involved next year. By the way, too, if you're interested in 4-H but have no interest, desire, or anything to do with farming or ranching, there is a whole world of 4-H that has nothing to do with cows or chickens or dirt. They talk about computers. They talk about shooting sports. They discuss all of its parliamentary procedure and things that are valuable skill sets for whatever you do as adults. Yes, 4-H is very much in farming and ranching, and it is the fabric of that the community. But 4-H also is a whole world that has nothing to do with any of that. And either way, you're deeply involved and you can benefit from many of the opportunities 4-H can provide.
Absolutely.
As far as age groups, kind of give folks a little rundown of when they can start and how long it lasts and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so our typical enrollment is about 5 to 18. That depends on when your birthday falls in the year and all that good stuff.
Kind of like school.
Yes, exactly. But we also have Cloverbud programming for our littles, which is very similar to being a regular 4-H member, but we're not going to compete. We're all just going to do a great job and get a purple ribbon and get along.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good deal. And this is the thing. It's a great opportunity for kids to do, and this is, when you raise a child, we all know, you send them to school and things, but you're trying to expose as much stuff to them, throw as much, see what they like, what's their place in the world, things like that, and opportunities like 4-H gives families that opportunity. And the beauty of it is, you try it out, and you're like, well, turns out they're not into that. No biggie. Now we're not invested fully. Let's pivot to another interest here. So you can go into 4-H and be like, you know what? I thought they were going to like shooting sports. Turns out not their thing, but they really are getting into or maybe they're like, you know what? They kind of do like, they want to raise an animal. They want, this is what 4-H is about. It's a chance for children and young adults to kind of figure out what they want in their world and what they like and don't like. And so parents, give your kids an opportunity through this and through this. That's why these organizations have been around for so long and they're so great. And I'm just going to, I don't know stats or numbers, but I'm going to take a look at, if you see people that have been successful in the world and things like that, or people that were involved in 4-H, you look at their percent, and most of them go on to do very beautiful, productive things because of what 4-H Foundation provided for them.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about. Seeing the time, anything in the extension side that we didn't cover, we want to make sure we put on people's radar, anything we missed?
I think that's it. Well, that's an always thing. So crafting for your mental health is one of those reoccurring programs that we have, again, in Hagerman and Roswell.
Excellent.
So we're in Hagerman tomorrow at the Joy Center at noon.
Okay.
And then the third Thursday of the month, we're in Roswell at the Senior Circle.
Excellent. And so you can come by and just pop on in, and if you want to do some crafts and stuff, and like you said, it kind of clear your head, kind of think of it as you're like, well, I suck at Tai Chi and stretching, but I can work on some crafts and things like that. Things to center yourself, get things, remind you of the big picture and all that. It's easy, and in the world we live in, where you get on your phone and spend 5 minutes, you're mad. You get over, turn on the TV, spend 5 minutes, you're mad. It's easy to get mad. Sometimes you need to say, you know what, let's make some origami, whatever it is, It's kind of like the coloring books, I don't know if it's still a thing, but there was a thing there where like coloring books were for adults, and you know, you know, it was very popular. I don't know if it's still a thing, but
Mike, I keep a word search in my pickup.
nice, nice, yeah. There was a time in my life where I bought the crossword puzzles and words. Oh my gosh, now everything's digital. But every once in a while, like just this weekend, they had a Sudoku one, and my wife always does Sudoku on the phone. I was like, "Hey Kim, there's a Sudoku one. You should want old school with a pencil or something." Take me up on that offer. But anyway, so, are you going to join us next time, Zanita? Because I want to give folks you're from Hagerman. Just tell folks a little bit about yourself.
I'm from Hagerman.
Yeah.
I graduated from Dexter High School, though.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And this May I graduated from NMSU with
Awesome.
my Bachelor of Science in Agriculture.
Nice. Excellent. Go Aggies.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what's what's your goals? What are you pursuing now?
Well, after this internship. I plan to get my master's while working too, and once I get that, hopefully find a position with wildland fire communications.
So you want to be like the people at the tent coordinating everything, and not the one in the fire part.
She's going to be the one that makes us look good, Mike.
I was going to say smart. I'm not saying this is what thinking does. Like, I'd rather be here than in there. Are you an outdoorsy type person? Do you love being outdoors?
I do.
Do you like to camp and things? And
Yes. Last summer I had an internship with the Forest Service, and we were outside doing research with wildland fuels after large wildfires.
Nice, cool, a good deal. So now I'm going to guess because of your nature of your work, you're probably going to stay around this area and things like that. Not a lot of demand for wildlife fires in New York City. No. So I'm going to take the family's happy. Like, oh, she's going to stay close.
Well, it depends where the fire's, because up north in like Minnesota, they're on fire right now.
I feel like a Minnesota fire is not as hot as a New Mexico fire. I know it's completely.
It's because New Mexico's hot anyways.
Right. I feel like their fire is like, oh, just throw some snow on it. Just kidding. Just making a joke. I'm not that dumb.
I'm not great at math, Mike.
That's right. Well, good. Well, congratulations, and it sounds like everything's going great for you here. Anybody want to say hi to? Any family, friends? Anybody like that?
My mom and
Love
my dad.
interest? Anything like that?
Oh, putting her on the spot.
Any of that? Just mom and dad.
And my sister.
And your sister. Good. Yeah, they cover them. Mom will give you a hard time if you forget mom. Good. Ladies, anything else we wanted to mention when we just got sidebarred on?
I think that's it.
There we got it. Good deal. All right. Of course, if you have any questions about anything we talked about here or want more information, you can always call the Chavez County Extension Office. What's that number they need to call?
622-3210.
And, of course, you can come by the office. It's not in the new one yet.
Not yet.
Still at 200 East Chisholm.
Suite 4.
Suite 4. There it is. Soon to be
somewhere else.
In a different place.
Yes. Across the street.
Yeah, not there yet. So, but and of course, if you have any questions about anything, or by the way, too, we're kind of not in sign-up season for the diabetes classes and all that. But if you recently got diagnosed with some of that stuff and looking for resources, the Extension Office can help set the table for you, and then, of course, set the table to get you to sign up for when the classes do start up again here.
Absolutely.
After, I guess it'd probably be around the first of the year and all that time frame and all again. So, good deal. Well, thank you, ladies. Welcome. And enjoy your internship. If I see you next month, and I'll see if you're this happy, I'm like, ooh, what'd they do to her? Just kidding. But welcome, and thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, 8:54.
I'm Jared Cirillo. 3 people have been arrested in Artesia after a multi-state investigation into an armed home invasion. The crime took place in the Yavapai County, Arizona community of Seligman. The trio broke into a man's home there, held him at gunpoint, and stole valuables and guns worth about $50,000. Detectives tracked the suspects to Artesia. Jail records show they are Marcela Reyes, Israel Lopez, and Pedro Esquivel. The trio is being held for armed robbery, aggravated robbery, theft, kidnapping, and trafficking in stolen property. Two groups in Roswell are teaming up to keep families cool this summer. Westlake Ace Hardware and the Salvation Army are kicking off their annual fan drive this week. It is a community campaign that provides new box fans for those in need, and it is 100% funded by customer donations. Until June 7th, you can round up your purchase total at the hardware store and donate it to the cause. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
You're at a coffee shop. You've been here before, so your phone automatically hops on the Wi-Fi. But here's the problem. How do you know that's really the coffee shop's Wi-Fi? You don't. I'm Kim Commando for Oracle. Cut your current cloud bill in half. Move to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Find out right now if your company qualifies at oracle.com/Kim. Hackers use something called a Wi-Fi pineapple. It's supposed to test security, but criminals use it to copy the names of trusted networks. So when your phone thinks it's connecting to your favorite coffee shop's internet, you actually might be connecting to a hacker's network. And once you're on, the hacker can steal passwords, watch what sites you visit, and even push fake login pages to trick you into giving up more information. So here's how to stay safe. Turn off Auto Connect for any public Wi-Fi. Always use a VPN when you're not on a network you completely trust too. Join over 650,000 folks who start their day with my free newsletter. Sign up at getkim.com. There's a growing expense eating into your company's profits. It's your cloud computing bill. You may have gotten a deal to start, but now the spend is sky high and increasing every year. What if you could cut your cloud bill in half and improve performance at the same time? Well, if you act by May 31st, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure can help you do just that. OCI is the next generation cloud designed for every workload, where you can run any application, including any AI projects, faster and more securely for less. In fact, Oracle has a special promotion where you can cut your cloud bill in half when you switch to OCI. The savings are real. On average, OCI costs 50% less for computing, 70% less for storage, and 80% less for networking. Join today's innovative AI tech companies who upgraded to OCI and saved. Offer only for new U.S. customers with a minimum financial commitment. See if you qualify for half off at oracle.com/Kim. That's oracle.com/Kim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Temperatures pretty warm over the next couple of days. We have high pressure parked over the Four Corners, and that'll be covering our area. We're expecting low to mid 90s today. It should be sunny. Overnight looks clear, upper 50s to about 60 on the low. Getting hot on Thursday, upper 90s and lots of sunshine. We'll hit about 100 for the high on Friday, and sunny should stay sunny through the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Running a business is tough. Operational demands change fast, and keeping up can feel impossible. That's where DSI comes in. We've been helping local businesses thrive for over 25 years. You might know us for printer products, but we're your one-stop shop for cutting-edge office technology. From managed IT to video security, audio-visual technology, and more, DSI has everything you need. We're flexible, local, and have the resources of a national corporation. Be more productive. Make more money. DSI, the heartbeat of business. Visit dsinm.com.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. The state track and field championships took place over this past weekend, and Jose Porras from Goddard had a good day. He's only a sophomore for the Rockets, and he was first in the boys 4A high jump, and then he also was third in the boys long jump. Congratulations to Jose. Roswell had some representation going on in the 5A meet. 5A boys, Roswell was third in the 1600 sprint medley relay. Cy Carrasco, senior for the Coyotes, you've heard his name before. He was second in the triple jump. Noah Lynn was third in the boys shot put. And on the girls' side, Emma Esquivel was second in the javelin throw. Congratulations to all of you guys for terrific efforts at the state meet. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. U.S. stocks fell as momentum slowed for Wall Street after it rallied from a deep hole nearly all the way back to its all-time high set earlier this year. The S&P 500 lost 0.4%, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 0.3%, and the Nasdaq Composite fell 0.4%. President Donald Trump on Tuesday pressed his fellow Republicans in the U.S. Congress to unite behind a sweeping tax cut bill, but apparently failed to convince a handful of holdouts who could still block a passage that encompasses much of his domestic agenda. Home Depot doesn't expect to raise prices because of tariffs, saying it has spent years diversifying the sources for the goods on its shelves. Other companies, domestic and foreign, have warned customers that price hikes are on the way. Passengers on Southwest Airlines flights will soon be required to keep their portable chargers in plain sight while using them because of concerns about the growing number of lithium battery fires and a new policy that other airlines may adopt as well. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Existing defense capabilities and should be fully operational before the end of my term. So we'll have it done in about 3 years. Once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world, and even if they're launched from space.
The estimated cost, $175 billion. President's so-called Big Beautiful Bill nearing a vote in the House. In fact, the vote could come as soon as today. Target sales missed the mark.
FactSet says sales at Target fell nearly 3% in the first quarter. That was more than expected. Now the retailer is warning that sales will drop this year as consumers worried about the impact of tariffs cut down on spending. Target says it expects a low single-digit decline in sales for 2025. The company is focusing on customers who are nervous about the economy and high prices. It's offering 10,000 new items, the majority costing less than $20. Target says it's looking at different ways to absorb their cost. I'm Mike Hemp.
5 of the 10 inmates who escaped from a New Orleans jail last Friday have been recaptured. Meanwhile, a jail maintenance worker is under arrest. 33-year-old Sterling Williams accused of helping the inmates make good their escape. Congressman Jerry Connolly has died. The Virginia Democrat died at home this morning. Congressman Jerry Connolly was 75 years old. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is down 305 points, the Nasdaq off 56, and the S&P 27 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Everybody wants cheap airfare.
Sudan's army claims to have liberated all of Khartoum state from the rebel Rapid Support Forces.
The Sudanese armed forces pushed the RSF out of most of the capital district in March, but the paramilitaries had held on to 2 positions in Omdurman, which is across the Nile from Khartoum. On Monday, the army launched an offensive to recapture these areas and now says it has done so. The center of the conflict is shifting to the RSF stronghold of Darfur in the west and to the southern Kordofan region. The army is battling to retake key cities in several states of Kordofan. That would provide a strategic access route to the embattled Darfur city of El Fasher.
The BBC's Barbara Platt-Usher. President Putin has visited Russia's Kursk region for the first time since Moscow drove Ukrainian forces from the area in April. The Kremlin says Putin visited Kursk on the border with Ukraine yesterday. Ukrainian forces made a surprise incursion into Kursk in August of last year. Townhall.com. One of auto racing's premier events enjoys a surge in popularity.
The Indianapolis 500 is sold out for the first time in nearly a decade. That means about 350,000 fans, or about one for every 1,000 people living in the U.S., will be at the historic racetrack for the 109th running of the greatest spectacle in racing on Sunday. It also means the local TV blackout that has been in place since 1951 has been lifted, so fans living in central Indiana will be able to watch the race live. The last sellout was in 2016 for the 100th running. General admission infield tickets are still available. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
Passengers in Southwest Airlines will soon be required to keep their portable chargers in plain sight while using them. It stems from concern about the growing number of lithium battery fires. That new policy on Southwest Airlines to take effect a week from today. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters. Right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday.
Ah, yes. Welcome to it.
Hope all these seniors about to graduate are practicing their walks.
Yep. Their specific saunter.
Yeah.
And they're just moving their tassel over in the mirror, you know,
right.
trying to get the look right.
Get the look perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's gonna be a little warm, especially for your Friday and Saturday.
You know what? Here's the thing. In a lot of previous years, weather has been a significant factor in the graduation schedule.
It's usually always a rain threat.
It's usually a rain threat, so I'm actually kind of happy that we're dealing with heat rather than the potential for onset of storms this weekend.
Yeah, although...
Shut up!
No. It's okay. Just settle down. On Monday, they are calling for 20% chance from Memorial Day proper, but I don't think there's any graduations going on Memorial.
No, as long as the the Dumbledores of our high school can hold the storm back, you know.
But hydrate up, because I'm worried that we might see a few pass out situations with the heat and everything else. So bend the knees.
Yeah, those gowns aren't breathable.
Well, it depends on
what's
underneath them.
Although a nice updraft, yeah.
Depends on what's underneath it. Yeah, because they usually make you wear pants. So.
I got an interesting phone call a second ago. My kid's mom called and said that Hunter broke his shoe.
Broke?
I'm like...
Would he have like a blowout?
Did it rip? Did it... No, it broke, apparently.
Like in half?
I guess. I didn't really get a lot of detail, but I think because the heel is so maybe rigid or the sole is rigid, it actually broke. Maybe the foam underneath it broke. I don't know, but she just said it broke.
All right.
It's like, I didn't know that shoes could do that.
So do you have to go bring them more shoes?
No, she's gonna get. They're okay for today.
Okay. But
before graduation tomorrow, she's gonna get a new pair. So, but yeah, I was just like, I didn't know that shoes could actually break. That's a phenomenon.
Well, I'm sure it's not a problem duct tape can't fix.
But that was always my parents' answer.
I've duct taped many a shoe.
One of
over the years.
One of the craftiest / crappiest fixes of my life. When I was in high school, there's hit, there's struck. I got pummeled in the face by a dodgeball, and it knocked my glasses out. My lens came out, or knocked my lens out of my glasses, which went bounce, bounce, break.
Wow.
My lens broke in half. So I was freaking out because at that point, my glasses were basically paid for through the Lions Club or the kindness of strangers, I'm pretty sure at this point. But, so I was like, what do? So I took the two halves of lens and I put them back into the frame. It actually held. And I rocked that look for the rest of the school year.
Wow.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Kids are mean. You know what they called me? Five Eyes. I mean, I got to give it to them. That's pretty creative. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. But
I would have played into that with 5 eyes. I'm watching you. I don't miss.
But it held up pretty well. But yeah, it's a crack right down the middle of the lens. So I know that that I've had broken things, but I did not know shoes could do that.
You know, you mentioned the kickball thing, and it reminded me when I was, I'm going to say 4th or 5th grade. It was the prime kickball years. You said dodgeball, but it reminded me, same ball.
Yeah.
That same rubber ball.
Well, I believe this one was kicked to my face as well. Not directly, but it just ended up there.
Right. Well, I remember we were at recess, and they organized a kickball game. And this is elementary school. And the teacher was pitching.
Okay.
And I kicked the snot out of that ball. And it went straight to the teacher's head. And she flew about 3 feet back and fell on her butt. I felt bad.
Oh, that's fantastic. No, that's just good aim. That's what that is.
I was a very popular dude the rest of that day.
I always did love kickball, the game of kickball, because that's the one game where I felt like I had a skill, like power, like I was good at it, because I could kick the bejesus out of that ball. I wasn't hand-eye coordinated enough to like strike a ball with a bat.
I felt like Babe Ruth, man, with that kickball. I'd kick it, that thing go in the woods. I'm like,
you're all pointing at
right,
her
I
face.
call my shot. And I'm right in her face.
Coming for you, Mrs. Thompson.
Yeah. Well, that helped because a year earlier I had an unfortunate poop pantsing incident, so that kind of erased some of that.
Yeah. There's little things you can do to adjust the pendulum swing, but it always comes back.
Yeah, like 3rd grade, I had a thing. It was not a good day. Enough to I remember it to this day.
Mike was a little young to be gambling and losing.
Yeah. But the other thing that reminds me of, it's because you were talking about your glasses, and I got to mention that I had a friend in high school, good friend, actually. I'm still Facebook friends. I haven't, but you know what I mean, how that happens. But anyway, in high school, he used to tell stories of his dad. I've seen him. I will say this. What he told me, I did not notice.
Okay.
But he told me, and it was a whole thing. Apparently his dad either had a fear of the dentist or a disdain for the dentist or just too cheap to go to the dentist. I'm not sure which of those 3 things it was. It was one of those 3 things.
Right.
He had teeth that, structurally, I guess, were fine.
They did
were
the
just
job.
Kind of, not purty.
Right.
Yellered out.
They're not for show.
Yeah. Built for comfort, not for speed. Kind of.
Built for comfort, not for speed.
And so to remedy this, rather than go to the dentist, he bought Lee press-on nails.
No.
And had a whole routine on how to use Lee press-on nails to make his own quote-unquote wallpaper for his teeth.
No.
And he explained the whole thing in depth.
My God.
When you talk at your class, that's what reminded me of the lengths at which people go to do things. And you know what? I got to look that. I got to go ask him. I was like, his dad's probably no longer with us, but I got to ask, does your dad still do Lee press on teeth? Because that's what I called him, Lee press on teeth. And
well, I can't remember who. There's some celebrity that is now endorsing these like snap-on veneers. Essentially, it's like they're calling it's like snap-on smile. It's basically like white fronts that you could just like snap onto your existing teeth, I guess.
Okay.
It doesn't sound comfortable, and it sounds like it would only. I mean, it sounds like it would look ridiculous, but
I mean, can you buy multiple sets and match your outfits with them? Is that the idea?
One could hope.
It's like, is that what we're like grills? Remember when grills were a thing for a minute?
Yep.
Of course, that was only for the. Well, most of us had cheap plastic garbage ones, and then you had guys like Flava Flav that had multi-million-dollar ones. But anyway, so I'm thinking this is the new grills.
Well, I just saw one, and then I saw it was like celebrity endorsed, and I can't. For some reason, Seth Rogen is popping in my head.
Because when I think of grills, is Seth Rogen's grill messed up?
Well, no, I think what it is he's a smiley person.
Well, he has a goofy laugh,
and so he's like, if you're gonna smile,
I mean, I make fun of people like Mike's making fun of someone's laugh. Listen to that guy's laugh. Yeah, I know, but his is that very distinctive.
Sounds like you're trying to cold start a Buick.
Yeah.
I can't find it right offhand, but yeah, there was something that was like a celebrity was talking about these instant smile things. I gotta imagine it's gonna damage your real teeth, though. I don't know.
I hope they're like the vampire teeth you get at Halloween.
I mean, for the most part, it's just it looks like the woman that they use in the example is just wearing like. Those are clearly not real at the top, or she has too many of them. Put it that way.
Well,
but
I don't know about all that, but I do know this from my life experience. If you want to whiten your teeth, don't go to the white. Don't scale it back a few shades. Don't go to that bright white because everyone's gonna know.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's gonna know. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Well,
it's that episode of Friends.
Yeah.
When Ross goes and gets his teeth whitened.
Yes.
And then goes to the blacklight party.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
He's glowing.
Like, what? What's everybody looking at?
There's something in my teeth. But so if you do that, take the extreme white and then hit 3 or 4 shades to the darker, and I think it'll look more. It'll look good, but you won't look like you're about to blind people.
You're trying to like my eyes.
There's a glare in your face. Shut your mouth. All right, Don Weld is going to join us this time wearing his Friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge hats. We'll get an update from Don on what's happening with Bitter Lake here in just a few. But before we do any of that, let's go ahead and take a gander at your weather. Sorry, kids. It's like today's like 92. It's like creep up. We had 80, whatever it was yesterday. 92 today, like 95 tomorrow, and then they're going to smack you in the face with like 99, 100 Friday. So here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Temperatures pretty warm over the next couple of days. We have high pressure parked over the Four Corners, and that'll be covering our area. We're expecting low to mid 90s today. Should be sunny. Overnight looks clear. Upper 50s to about 60 on the low. Getting hot on Thursday. Upper 90s and lots of sunshine. We'll hit about 100 for the high on Friday, and sunny should stay sunny through the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 50. You know what? This is way old. Let me hit the refresher. I apologize. This is stale weather. There's a little fresher. Currently, still the same. 59 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 27%. Winds currently out of the south at 3 miles per hour. 92 under sunny conditions today. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, skies will be mostly clear. Overnight low of 58 degrees. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For you Thursday, 95 under sunny skies. Winds out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Those winds will shift to the southeast as the day progresses on Thursday. Thursday night, clear with an overnight low of 66 degrees. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, 98 and sunny, which means it'll be near 100. So it's when you get 98, 99, you might as well just call it 100. That's what it is. Winds out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 62. Sunny and 99 on Saturday. And then Saturday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 62. Then we start going the other way, cooling down. Sunday, sunny skies, a high of 91. Partly cloudy Sunday night with an overnight low of 59. For Memorial Day Monday, there is a 20% chance of showers, but mostly sunny and 82. So that's a much more pleasant day. 20% chance of rain Monday night as well. And then looking at 20% on Tuesday as well. So we're going to hit near 100 by Friday, Saturday this week. But by Monday and Tuesday next week, we'll be in the low to mid 80s. So welcome to New Mexico. All right, it is 19 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a 2.5-minute break, and then Don Weld will join us talking Friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. Don't go away.
Have you spent a lot of time trying to whiten your teeth with no real success? Here at Carabelli Dental, we have a solution. Get that perfect smile you've always wanted with veneers. Veneer treatment is quick and minimally invasive and will provide you with a confident smile in just a couple easy steps. You deserve to love your smile, so don't let another day pass you by without calling us to start the smile design process.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
Bring rugged durability and high-grade performance to your home laundry room with a Maytag commercial-grade residential washer. Engineered with powerful parts, including a half-horsepower motor and dual-action agitator, it is truly built to last. Shop Bush Appliance today and bring home a powerful washer. Bush Appliance, Woodworks, and Installation. When it comes to cabinets, appliances, and installation, who you gonna call? Bush Appliance in Roswell. Stop by 111 West Country Club Road in Roswell or call 575-622-6390.
The summer of fun is on at Roswell Honda. Now through the end of the month, get scorching savings across the lot on a great selection of vehicles, like a new 2026 Honda Passport as low as 3.99% for 36 months, or a 25 Honda Civic Sedan Hybrid, just 4.99% for 48 months, or lease a 2025 Honda Ridgeline all-wheel drive, just $409 a month for 36 months. Roswell Honda has the deals to take your summer adventure to a whole new level. The summer of fun begins at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
When managing a chronic illness, access to the right treatments makes all the difference. Artesia General Hospital's Infusion Center provides IV therapy and biologic treatments, so you don't have to travel far for care. Expert infusion therapy right here in Artesia. Call 575-736-8256 today to learn more.
Bob Reed Pest Control. Reliable, professional, and experienced. The technicians at Bob Reed Pest Control have been providing pest management services for over 50 years and will continue to set high standards for their customers. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Everyone at Bob Reed Pest Control are trained and knowledgeable in the latest pest management practices, offering effective treatment plans for each situation. Bob Reed Pest Control. Find them online, BobReedPestControl.com, or call 575-623-5344. Serving all of Southeast New Mexico.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, today, wearing his Friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge hat, Don Weld back with us this morning. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Mike. How you doing?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Well, a little sore from all the work we've been doing, but
yeah, so you've been kind of keeping busy when not at Bitter Lake doing work, at Memory Lawn Cemetery doing
right.
work. So
yeah,
you're kind of busy, and then at the zoo, I guess too. Sometimes on occasion too. Not maybe at the
not
moment.
so much there, but
but soon to be. But
yep.
Anyway,
we're working on it.
Yeah. Of course, for folks not familiar, Friends of Bitter Lake is actually that's the volunteer organization that is associated with Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. If you're not familiar, Bitter Lake, we talk about it all. That you probably heard of. Bottomless Lake State Park is a fun place to camping and recreate and swim and boat, do all the things that you do out there.
Right.
Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is that for the animals and wildlife.
That's right.
We humans are there to observe and report and to be a fly on the wall as nature does nature. It's a great place. I'd love to get to come out and do it. But like you said, it's not there to be the place to picnic and recreate. This is
no.
It's a nature. It's there to study the birds, the wildlife. It's there to actually preserve and protect these species that are native to this region. The fight every day is keeping the non-native plants and wildlife from penetrating into the Bitter Lake Refuge. The other thing, as it serves in the animal kingdom, It's basically a big Pilot Flying J truck stop for the migrating animals as they, head south for the winter and north during the the warmer months.
Right.
And I'm going to guess right now, probably most are at where they're at, right? The transition's kind of done.
Yeah, by
at
this
point.
time they've either gone all the way north or all the way south as needed.
Now you might have a few stragglers that said, "Yeah, I'm just gonna stop here.
here.
Yeah, this is far enough north for me.
This tastes good. I'm going to stick around and enjoy it for a while."
Yeah. Probably the ones that came from way farther south or something like that.
Right. But yeah, that's pretty much the way it is. Let me see. What was I going to say? Oh boy. Oh, this isn't Alzheimer's Day, is it? No.
Not yet. No, that was the other
That was
day.
Monday. Yeah, that was Monday.
I know during the summer here, I think you guys probably have a few projects that the friends are probably getting on the radar to get done here. Obviously, the big tentpole thing that the Friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge do is the Dragonfly Festival, which that'll be kind of. I always look at that event as kind of the start of fall for southeast New Mexico because the kids usually just get back to school. It's usually right around that first September 10th time frame, right around that time frame, and so it kind of is kind of a gateway into fall for this part of the area.
First Saturday after Labor Day.
Yeah,
and
but in the meantime, there's a lot going on between now and then.
We've got a meeting coming up, our annual. Members meeting.
Okay.
And that will be next month in June. Friends of me on the 21st. 12 o'clock.
Excellent. At the visitor center there.
Visitor center.
Yeah.
Come out and say hi.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a member. We would very much like to have you be a member.
If you'd like to learn what a member does, that's a great place to
right.
learn it.
You can join that day. That would be fine.
Yeah.
We'd love that. We'll have a little lunch, and then we'll have our members meeting.
Yeah.
And say hi to everybody. And
there's lots of different ways to be a part of the, of course, your membership and obviously the money that you spend to become a member, all that money goes back into projects and things at the refuge. So that in and of itself is a support. But if you want to get even more involved in that, volunteering, if you like to get dirty, there's always service projects and things. So if you like to kind of the planting and landscaping side of work, they're doing all that. It's a little bit different. I mean, it's not, but it is. It's a little different than gardening at your home and stuff.
Very much so.
Yeah, I mean, you're still digging in the dirt and putting things, but you're actually doing this for it's not just to look pretty. There's you're building things like if like anytime there's trails that get washed out and things, we want to reestablish those for us. But at the end of the day, we don't want to make those trails too established for the fact that it's a wildlife refuge. We don't want paved sidewalks and things down through there. We want to
any more than necessary.
Yeah, I mean, absolute safety concerns, yes, but for the most part, you want to keep it natural. And so a lot of the projects are as much in the environmental side as it is in the health and safety side.
That's right. And so we do as much as we can for the wildlife to keep them happy, you might say.
I was going to say, that's when I kind of was saying, we are just the visitors. This is their home. This is their place. Everything is being done to make it for them, not necessarily for us.
We are here. We are the caretakers.
Absolutely. So now, don't get me wrong. Like the bird blind and things that are out there, those are built for us to observe and report
them,
and
without
to be honest,
being too invasive.
Exactly. But those are the kind of projects that Friends of Bitter Lake do and all that. Also, that beautiful store that's in the visitor center, that is run by the Friends of Bitter Lake.
Right.
The monies garnered from that are again used back to those conservation projects and various things that happen out at Bitter Lake each year.
No salaries.
Yeah. The only people that get paid are the actual government employees that are part of the refuge.
That's correct.
The Friends of the Bitter Lake, they're all a bunch of folks like Don, people that live and work in other aspects of the community.
Right, right. If you want to talk to somebody out there at Bitter Lake, you can call them at 575-244-6256, and they can give you more details about our meeting coming up.
Yeah.
about any other projects, what's going on, who's there, who isn't there. Like you said earlier, most of the traffic has pretty much thinned out. There are a few migratory or a few stragglers here and there, but for the most part, they're gone.
Yeah. It's kind of that season's passed.
Yeah.
They got to where they're getting to.
That's right. Now we just had all the kids in the city here, including Dexter, and what was the other one?
Hagerman, Lake Arthur.
Hagerman. Yeah, I think. Anyway, they had an opportunity to draw dragonflies.
Okay.
And then we judged them on their artistic abilities.
Yeah.
And we picked a winner. So we now have a winner. Now, I cannot divulge that person's name.
Okay. Now, is this for the Dragonfly Festival
This
year?
is for the Dragonfly Festival.
Cool. Yeah, this is if you're not familiar, that's an annual tradition.
Yep.
Like if you're watching the video, you'll see Don's T-shirt. That's one of the
that one was
past
a winner
Bitter
from,
Lake
from previous years.
Yeah. And children in elementary school throughout the county submit their dragonfly drawings, and of course, I think they select winners by age group, and then they select an overall. And the overall is your art for the promotions of the next.
They will have something like this, or little cards, or
the flyers, the T-shirts.
There will be and
they get a cash.
They do
a cash reward as well.
The reward is going to go to this person, the 22nd, I think he said.
Okay.
At one of the schools. I can give you the school name, but I can't give you anything else.
Nah, well,
the school name is Monterey.
All right. So somebody at Monterey
be ready because you won the contest.
Nice.
And you're gonna get I think it's 125.
Nice.
In gift certificates.
And it's I was asked a couple years ago to do this. It's a lot of fun, but it's hard because I don't know, like the year we did it, I don't know, there was several hundred pictures to go through.
This year we had over almost 400.
Yeah, it's
we have
a lot.
had as many as 800 or 900.
Yeah, it is
to go
a lot.
Through.
And so, but it's actually the well-oiled machine. The volunteers kind of have this room where the table, and literally the judges go through and just hit the tables and kind of walk around, and we kind of
break that down.
And then we whittle them down to like the consensus, and then by that comes through a number one there, and it's actually considering the amount of stuff you have to go through, they literally can do it in an hour or two. It really
it doesn't take that long.
Yeah, it really went.
And we always have some treats and coffee and stuff.
But it was really cool experience, and I'm telling you. Myself, every one of us, they take it very seriously. They go through and it's like, oh man, that's so cool, and there is the debates. I love this one, but man, look at this one. Is this one?
Yeah.
And so there was a few of those like really considering these things, and so and I will tell you, it's not easy. The one that's going to win this year is going to be amazing. But I'm telling you right now, there was probably another 100 ones equally as amazing. That's just hard to pick. It's so good.
We really had some close calls there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one will be the
one for this year.
This year,
excellent.
And there are some other winners. Each grade winner gets posted.
Yeah,
and some others that were high up.
Kind of like best of category and then best overall if you're into like fair
best
talk.
of grade group.
Yeah,
mostly.
Yeah. And the categories would be age groups basically.
Right.
And then the one that's on the T-shirts like the
best of best.
Yeah, the best of the best overall. The grand champion in rodeo terms, or livestock show terms.
There you go. That one.
But of course, as we get closer to September, we're going to put more on your radar there. But I will tell you this right now: if you're a nonprofit or organization that wants to be a part of this year's Dragonfly Festival, now's the time to start plotting and planning so they can set up a table space and set I know like a lot of times scouts will go out there and sell hot dogs and things. Or
they will be there this year.
A lot of civic groups will have like raffles for their various things to come out. And obviously we have like, Fish and Game doing their thing out there and various other
the big tent
groups and things like that too. But a lot of times we'll have, some of our Kiwanis and various other groups like that are doing their things. And usually there's opportunities to get in on drawings for amazing quilts and various other nice things that are offered there. So, and the big thing is, of course, the tours, and we'll give you the green light. The green light's not there yet, but I'm going to say sometime in July, August time frame.
Usually August 1st.
There you go. Right around there.
Just about 1 month. We'll give you about 30 days. Call in, make your reservations, and be there.
Okay.
If you're not there, somebody else is going to take your spot.
Absolutely, yeah. It's and I'm telling you, it's very popular, and so this is why we tell people. But they'll offer several different tours during the Dragonfly Festival. They're all free of charge. But you have to RSVP and you have to do it online. They'll offer Saturday dates and then usually some Sunday morning dates as well. Too.
Yeah, if we get enough people and they get a little overflow, we'll do them on Sunday morning.
Yeah. But they'll have I believe 3 different ones. They have the early bird tour on Saturday morning, and that's exactly what it is. It starts at like
6 o'clock,
6 in the morning, and they get up and watch the birds and go look for the birds.
That's right. And it is a special tour.
Yeah, it's a unique thing, and it's only good during that time and all that. And then shortly thereafter, they're going to have 2 other tours. They'll have the Dragonfly tour, where you actually can go and focus on the dragonflies. But then there's also the wildlife tour, which is equally amazing, but it focuses a little bit more on just the dragonflies.
Wildlife. Yeah. Pretty much other than dragonfly.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I bet it is the Dragonfly Festival, so there'll probably be a few nuggets of dragonfly.
Oh yeah, they always do.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that dragonfly. Oh, there's a fox.
Yeah. Do you know if they're going to do another monarch butterfly launch at this year's?
Yes, we are.
Awesome.
We're going to have monarchs. We're going to have all the kids that we can out there to release the butterflies.
And we'll tell more about that as we get closer to the event. But becoming a friend, you get to be involved in all this.
That's right.
Stuff too. So come to their meeting here, the next meeting here. Also, I know this weekend's a busy weekend for a lot of people, but if you're not involved with graduations or cookouts or anything and looking for something to do on your Memorial Day weekend, I invite you to go out and visit Bitter Lake Wildlife. If you've never been out there before, it is literally, we say it as the oasis is in the desert. That's absolutely it's a different world. Yep. It's literally 10, 15-minute drive from, really the town here.
9 miles from Maine.
Yeah.
Out Pine Lodge.
Yeah. It's really right there in your own backyard.
Yeah.
And
you could bicycle ride that.
Exactly. It'd be a good, maybe not this weekend with the hundreds, but yeah. But when it's a little cooler. But here's the thing. It's open basically sun up to sundown. The gates that let you in at sunrise, they open up. They close at sundown. Don't worry, if you're still on property at sundown, it'll let you. It's like the Roach motels from back in the 80s. It'll let, except the opposite. It'll let you out, but won't let you in. So, so that way you can go. And now, always remember, if you're not out there to picnic and camp and all that stuff, but if you love to hike the trails, see some of the wildlife, I will, as a pro tip, if you want to see more action with the animals and things, get there either early or right around dusk. Those are the 2 busy times.
That's when they come out. One footnote on that picnicking and such, we now have, we're putting up a second one, but we have one. It's a covered
like a pavilion?
It's like a permanent tent with a table underneath. You can actually sit there and have your lunch.
But that's kind of close to the front, the parking lot of the visitor center.
Right next to the nature store.
It's not inside the park proper down there. So
but you can sit right there and have your lunch. It's very pleasant.
Yeah,
I've sat out there myself.
Oh, but
had a little sandwich and.
Depending on the time of day and the weather that day, it's a pretty nice place to hang out. And that's the thing. It's really beautiful out there. The lake, the water, and then. It really is a different world out there, and if you're looking to come, and the other thing is, you come now, come in the fall, come in the winter, come in the earlier spring.
That's right.
Every time of the year is a different experience out of Bitter Lake Wildlife.
Different things going on.
Yeah,
different animals are there. Different
like early spring and early fall are your two, and fall you're really two. Action-packed seasons, because those are the migratory seasons. You got them either coming in or going out. There's going to be an influx of birds and various other migratory animals that are going to be parking it and juicing up, gassing up, and feeding up and everything before they head on to the next leg of their journey.
That's right. For the most part, the cranes leave in March give or take a little. And they arrive in about October.
Yeah, right after Dragonfly Festival. Usually about a couple weeks after that. And that's why they always have their annual Cranes and Cocoa event, usually there in late October, November time.
Yeah, just early November.
Yeah.
We used to do it the Thanksgiving weekend, but we moved it up a little bit. We found that there's more participation.
Nice. By the cranes or by the people?
Both. Yeah, both. The cranes are still there, and they seem a little happier that way.
Yeah, maybe it's a little warmer. Maybe they're just getting their welcoming back, and they're just glad, still tired from the trip. And you know what I mean?
There you go.
There's still the allure of the arriving at their destination for me.
Yeah.
But that's the cool part. There's always stuff going on out there. There's stuff. I will tell you this: any scouts out there that are looking to work for their Eagle Scouts and are looking for service project or opportunities to do some of that, I do invite you to talk to the Friends of Bitter Lake, talk to the Bitter Lake Wildlife. I know there's a few projects out there. I know. We were talking about no camping or anything out there. There is one exception.
That's right.
And that's the Scouts. And unfortunately, it's not really set up right now because of flooding and things have kind of over there.
And that's why we need the Eagle Scouts.
Yeah, that's been neglected and needs help. But that's the one group because Scouts come in and you're all like, wait a minute. I was like, you know Scouts, and you go into Scouts, you'll know exactly why. Because Scouts teach how to live with the land without disturbing the land. Philmont Scout Ranch up in northern New Mexico here. There are days where those campers when they're hiking, they are living low impact. They're not. They're not bathing. They're not wearing deodorant. They hardly ever, if ever, use ground fires. Everything they bring in, they like even liquids and things. They sump out through everything's in bear bags. They leave the pine needles and push them back to where they were when they're done. They really the Scout motto in camping. One of them. We got lots of them. But one is leave a site better than you found it. And that's
pack it in, pack it out.
Yeah, that's right. And so to teach those mindsets, places like Bitter Lake are very useful for that.
Yes.
So that's why we let the Scouts do their thing in there, because they're literally teaching these young men and women how to be one with the land.
We can do that pretty much year round. All you have to do as a Scout group, and Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, we don't, or Cub Scouts, whatever. Just call the nature store or call the refuge and let them know that you need to or would like to bring your Scout group out there. And you can call them at 575-244-6256.
Very good.
And
what's the hours of the Scout? I mean, the gift shop there at the refuge.
It is. Oh boy! Now you're taxing my memory here. 9. We open at 9.
Okay.
We close at 5.
Okay.
Monday through. Most of the time, it's Monday through Saturday.
Okay.
Because of not getting the RV, what we call the RV people, the volunteers, as much as we would like, we sometimes don't have Saturday.
Gotcha. Hear that, RVers?
Yeah.
Or if you got friends that are RVers, like if you got family that are RVers and you're looking for them to come visit you, give them this Bitter Lake opportunity. And what that is, and Don and I have talked about this before, is they're literally the retirees, folks that they hit their RVs and they hit the road and they do the road trips. We get a lot of families, and so what they do is they'll come to Southeast New Mexico. They'll set up their RV there in the parking lot area and all that, and get all stuff.
The only camping allowed on the refuge,
and so they can hook up to water and plumbing and all that to their RV.
Right.
And and what happens is a lot of them will use it as their base. So if they want to go down to Carlsbad or go to various other entities around here, and they'll set up shop. But as kind of to return the favor for letting that, they literally work for a month at a time, however long they're there.
They're usually there 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, doing the gift shop, working the gift shop, kind of being keeping an eye on the place while everything's going on.
And they drive around, do a little cleanup.
Yeah,
make sure there's a toilet thing down by the south end of the roadway, and they make sure that's clean.
Yeah,
and it doesn't take much. They go in with a hose and spray.
It's a wonderful thing, and it's a great opportunity for people that they've hit the road, they're retired or whatever it is, and they're doing their thing, and this is a way to offset some costs, but at the same time give back a little, and then still get to see and most of them have a blast doing it and get to talk and meet people, and I'm going to take a stab that they probably buy a couple $100 worth of stuff to load in the RV before they leave too.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure that, yeah. In fact, I know they do all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's great because they don't pay rent.
Yeah.
They don't pay for gas.
They're singing for their supper, literally.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's,
they get their propane, they get their water, they get their electrical. It's parked. Their RVs are parked under a cover so that when we get our wonderful,
they're protected.
The hailstorms. Yeah.
So it's a very ideal place to be living for a month or two.
That's right.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if you have family out of town or know someone that's interested in doing that kind of stuff, obviously locals here, they're going to beat cheeks to other places to do it. But if you've got out of town friends and family that are RVers and stuff, and they're looking for things, hey, shoot them to the Bitter Lake Refuge, and you make an excuse to have them hang out for a couple months.
Right.
And they're not living in your house. That's the other
That's
part.
right.
So when you're tired of them, they go back to their RV.
And not only that, that work that they have to do 3 days a week.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We say work. They work just a few hours a day or however the time, and then they got a lot of free time to spend with family or sightsee or whatever they're going to do. Yeah.
I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great way to
deal.
To be honest, when I hear about that, I'm kind of like, if I ever hit that point in life, that's the kind of lifestyle I'd like. I'll get an RV. My wife, I don't know how my wife would feel about it, but in conception, I kind of like that. Just kind of go and then I'll be, we'll spend a couple months here and go, maybe like I loved Kitty Hawk and all that. I wonder if they have that kind of opportunity down there on the.
They do. There's a refuge in Carolina.
There in I would totally.
And you sign up and you go there for 6 months, and then you can travel all over the place.
I can see me in my life doing that kind of thing for 6 months, and then go, I'm tired of here. Let's go ahead, Edward, and let's go see what's going on in the middle areas or stuff like that. Or hey, we'll hit the West Coast. I mean,
they do. And in fact, we have RVers that do nothing but that.
Yeah.
They travel from refuge to refuge to refuge all over the country.
That's not a bad lifestyle, man.
Yep,
I'm kind of happy with that. That sounds delightful.
I was in the medical industry, the hospitals and such all the time. They have traveling med techs.
Okay.
They will travel from hospital to hospital.
Okay.
They get a tremendous amount of perks to do that.
I think I've met some, like when I've had things in here in town, like at Eastern or something. Like I think I've met a few of those people that
you see them all the time.
And because weirdly enough, my house is literally within walking distance of Eastern New Mexico Medical Center. So I think a few of them live in my neighborhood and my area. They're literally within walking distance of the hospital. Because I see that all the time, and there'll be temp doctors that kind of come, or nursing or whatever, and usually they'll come in for 6 months and then head on out to their next
another one.
Yeah.
This
is
a similar idea. The RVers out at Bitter Lake do a similar thing.
Yeah, it's a great idea. If you like to, and I know for like the one nurse I met, and this was back when my wife was having her deal several years ago at Eastern there, and we met this nurse, and I was talking with her about it, and she was telling me, like, I think she did like New York City and stuff during COVID, and she got into the heavy stuff and was doing that, and kind of telling me the war stories a little bit and all that. So,
Interesting.
But a lot of them do that kind of stuff. It's interesting. I know they were different subject, but just kind of tied together. But bringing it back to Bitter Lake here. But yes, if you know those folks, that's a great way to do that. And then, of course, make time to come out there. Take your family out there. If you're looking for and here's the thing, visit that gift shop. There's all kinds of fun. It's obviously educational stuff. But if you're looking for, even like with Mother's Day, Father's Day right around the corner here, there's some pretty cool gifts that Mom and Dad would like. Things like T-shirts, books, games, decor.
Hats.
They got it all up there. And
I think we've still got hats. I'm not sure.
Educational gifts too for the kids if you want to get some cool stuff. Like if you're looking for like if you want to start your own astronomy, those kind of things. There's all kinds of those kinds of things.
Animals and insects, and all those books are out there, and kids love those kind of books.
Absolutely, they learn about these cool animals and things, and then and of course, put the Bitter Lake, the actual Bitter Lake Dragonfly Festival on your radar here coming up in September, around the 1st of August. I'm going to start steering you to the Bitter Lake website, which you can go there now, friendsofbitterlake.org.
Right.
And but that's where you'll go to look for the Dragonfly Festival stuff. But if you want to learn more about the Friends of Bitter Lake organization, what the volunteers do, how to volunteers, that website is your best resource, www.friendsofbitterlake.org.
Right.
And you can go there and do all
that. And now there is a difference, the Friends of Bitter Lake and volunteers at Bitter Lake.
Yeah, they have their own.
They're different. They're really different groups.
And you can be in both.
You can be in both, or you can be in just one.
If you go to the actual government bitterlake.gov or whatever that website is, you'll learn more about their volunteer program there.
Or you can go out there and you can talk to Steve.
Yeah, talk to Steve.
Steve Alvarez there in the nature store. He's got his office.
He's your. I always joke, he's more than this, but he's your park ranger out there. He's the guy,
more or less.
Yeah, because I grew up in the era of Yogi Bear, so I think
there you go. There you go.
Those guys, I think of all.
Except he doesn't carry a gun.
No, I don't even think he has the hat. But it's
years ago, before he came to Bitter Lake, he was a ranger, a gun-toting ranger at a couple of the refuges.
Okay,
around.
I was thinking like an army ranger or nice. So he was actually like a cop ranger.
Correct.
Park police or whatever they call it.
Now, don't quote me on this, but I think that was when he was in Florida.
Okay.
So
Florida's a little different than around here.
Much different.
They need a little more security in Florida.
They had to go down to Costa Rica.
Oh wow!
A couple of times.
Wow.
Yeah.
You want to know what Florida people are like? Literally, I recommend it. If you have the HBO Max app, there's a show called It's Florida Man. And it's a 6th little thing, and it's a comedic thing, and it's all comedy, and there's famous comedians that reenact real Floridians telling actual events, and it's everything from a guy walking out and fighting a gator to just the dumbest of things. That's the dumbest of things, and it's like it's Florida Man.
It's Florida. Huh?
Yeah, it's called It's Florida Man, and that's the name of the show.
It's Florida Man.
Yeah, it's like 6 episodes, half hour. They're real quick to watch.
But they're all on the standard channels, or is it on?
It's on HBO Max. It was an HBO show.
Max. Okay.
But if you have the HBO Max app, it's one of the things you can download and watch on there. But it originally aired on HBO.
Yeah, I'll have to remember that one.
Yeah, it's
that sounds good.
There's some wild stories.
I'll be going to Florida here in September, right after the Dragonfly.
Well, this one that'll be a good precursor.
Mm-hmm.
So, did we get it all as far as information?
I think again, remember that the June 21st we have the meeting.
Yes.
Our get together, our annual summer get together.
Don't need RSVP. Just come on out.
What
time is that again?
It's going to be starting at noon.
12 noon.
Bring a little side dish,
Okay, it's a potluck deal.
It's a potluck type lunch, so we will provide the meat.
Nice. So you want to bring some salads or
bring salads and desserts and stuff.
Deviled egg.
It's a great time to either join or renew a membership.
Yeah. Or continue your membership and catch up with friends and
there you go.
And
so
like
come on out there, and we'll get that taken care of.
Perfect. Excellent. And again, friendsofbitterlake.org is the website if you want to learn more. And of course, if you have any questions about anything, you can go there. Also, Facebook as well. There's a Bitter Lake Wildlife Friends, and you can find information there too.
And I think we just got the new newsletter on the website, so
awesome.
You can see.
And then I'm going to take a stab. Probably next time we talk to you about Bitter Lake stuff, we can announce.
Oh yes,
a name.
We will let you know exactly who
name
and
of
what.
who.
Yeah,
but it. So let it be written. So let it be done. It has been decided.
Yes, it has. It has.
We'll announce it later.
And tomorrow, that person will know.
Nice. Very good.
There'll be about 125 Richard.
There you go. But it's really cool. So folks, maybe next month we can show off the artwork and stuff too. At that point, if we can, at least something. We'll do that, but we'll let you know next month.
Very, very good. Yep.
Don, as always, appreciate it. Of course, we will see you tomorrow wearing your zoo hat. But
yeah, going from one to another.
That's right.
Yeah,
but
this is a strange week when all three of them come up.
yeah, they all kind of look. The planets aligned into the 1 week here this week.
Yeah.
So, but good deal. We'll talk more about the zoo tomorrow here. But Don, as always, appreciate it, and rest up. Go get some ibuprofen in you, and
yeah. Well, yeah, I can't do that. It upsets my stomach.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Can you do aspirin?
Yeah.
All right.
Basic aspirin is probably the best.
Hook up an IV on that one.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I take an aspirin anyway.
Yeah.
Well, baby aspirin. But
that's what happens when we get old.
That's right.
They just give us pills to take, and usually one of them's an aspirin. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Don, as always, appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah. Thank you, Mike.
8:54. Let's pause for news and a quick break. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. 3 people have been arrested in Artesia after a multi-state investigation into an armed home invasion. The crime took place in the Yavapai County, Arizona community of Seligman. The trio broke into a man's home there, held him at gunpoint, and stole valuables and guns worth about $50,000. Detectives tracked the suspects to Artesia. Jail records show they are Marcelo Reyes, Israel Lopez, and Pedro Esquivel. The trio is being held for armed robbery, aggravated robbery, theft, kidnapping, and trafficking in stolen property. 2 groups in Roswell are teaming up to keep families cool this summer. Westlake Ace Hardware and the Salvation Army are kicking off their annual fan drive this week. It is a community campaign that provides new box fans for those in need, and it is 100% funded by customer donations. Until June 7th, you can round up your purchase total at the hardware store and donate it to the cause. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. The state track and field championships took place over this past weekend, and Jose Porras from Goddard had a good day. He's only a sophomore for the Rockets, and he was first in the boys 4A high jump, and then he also was third in the boys long jump. Congratulations to Jose. Roswell had some representation going on in the 5A meet. 5A boys, Roswell was third in the 1600 sprint medley relay. Cy Carrasco, senior for the Coyotes, you've heard his name before. He was second in the triple jump. Noah Lynn was third in the boys shot put. And on the girls' side, Emma Esquivel was second in the javelin throw. Congratulations to all of you guys for terrific efforts at the state meet. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Good morning. Stocks will open little changed from the day before again. Stock market momentum has slowed until more is known on tariffs and the future of President Trump's tax and spending plan. The difficulty on that is finding ways to extend tax cuts and pass new tax deductions for tips and Social Security payments and overtime without increasing the deficit. And this tax and spending bill could start to affect stocks and bonds. Home Depot says they will not raise prices because of tariffs. They say people are painting and working in their yards and doing small projects, but not doing large projects again yet. One factor that's helped Home Depot is how home values have risen so much, which along with mortgage rates are reason home sales are slow. The average expenditure in Home Depot stores and online combined is $91. Top gaining stocks yesterday included Dollar Tree and Dollar General stores. Travel industry stocks were among the largest decliners because of doubts about how much households will be able to spend on vacations this year. Target will now give its insights into the economy today, and Wall Street thinks Target's sales will be slowing. With business, I'm Joe Connolly.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report. Donate now to toysfortots.org. Working year-round, delivering hope to children at Christmas time and beyond. In 2024, Toys for Tots provided over 30 million toys to nearly 13 million children in need. Donate now. Go to toysfortots.org. Since 1947, Toys for Tots has distributed 708 million toys to 314 million deserving children. Working year-round. Toys for Tots. Donate now. Go to toysfortots.org.
The summer fun begins now. The City of Roswell Summer Recreation Guide is now available. Sign up for summer sports, games, classes, and events, including activities at the Recreation and Aquatic Center, the Alien Chase Run and Walk, the Roswell Museum, Public Library, Nancy Lopez Golf Tournaments, and the world-famous UFO Festival and the July 4th celebration. Find it all in one place. Find the Summer Recreation Guide right now on the See Roswell app or online at roswell-nm.gov.
Hey CVE members, have you scheduled your no-cost home energy audit? If not, it's time to sign up. Call 575-746-3571 to get your name on the list for a free home energy audit. Weather stripping, new door sweeps, minor repairs, and much more. Start saving money and keep that purchased air in your home. Central Valley Electric Cooperative is happy to partner with Green Metal Energy for this valuable audit. Again, 575-746-3571.
The Great One, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
I'm Rich Thomason. They worked the night shift. House lawmakers working on the president's big, beautiful bill that would, among other things, extend 2017 tax cuts. Yesterday, the president visited Capitol Hill, hoping to convince GOP holdouts to support the bill that would include $25 billion for a missile defense system that Mr. Trump calls the Golden Dome. The president asked whether the Pentagon brass is on board.
Well, let me put it differently. I suggested it, and they all said, "We love the idea, sir." It's the way it's got to be, right? But they want it, and they wanted it badly once it was suggested. I don't know if they ever thought they would be lucky enough to have it. But we were able to get it done, and we have all the funding, so pretty much tucked away. I think most people feel it's very important.
Mr. Trump says it would protect the entire continental U.S. from aerial attack. A Virginia congressman has died. Democrat Jerry Connolly, who announced last year that he suffered esophageal cancer, died peacefully at home this morning, surrounded by family. He was 75. The Senate has voted to eliminate federal taxes on tips, a Trump campaign pledge.
Democrat Senator Jackie Rosen of Nevada brought the bill to the floor with the expectation that it would be blocked, but Texas Republican Ted Cruz declined to. It passed via unanimous consent. Cruz noted in his floor remarks in support of Rosen's unanimous consent request that Nevada's senators relayed that roughly 25% of Nevada's workers rely on tips. Rosen said that the Silver State has more tipped workers per capita than any other. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
5 down, 5 to go. 5 of the 10 inmates who broke out of a New Orleans jail last Friday have been recaptured. A jail maintenance worker is accused of helping them escape. On Wall Street, the Dow down 367 points, the NASDAQ 5 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
A school bus in southwestern Pakistan, the target of a suicide car bomber. 5 people, including 3 youngsters, were killed. At least 38 other people wounded.
A local deputy commissioner says that the attack occurred in Kuzdar, a district in Balochistan province.
as the bus was transporting children to their school in a nearby city. No group immediately claimed responsibility, though suspicion is likely to fall on ethnic Baloch separatists who frequently target security forces and civilians in the region. The district has been the scene of a long-running insurgency, with an array of separatist groups staging attacks, including the outlawed Balochistan Liberation Army, designated as a terror organization by the US in 2019. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Japan's agriculture minister has resigned because of political fallout over his remark that he never had to buy rice because he got it from supporters as gifts. Many saw the remark as a sign he was out of touch with economic reality. Townhall.com. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says he hopes the U.S. withdrawal from the World Health Organization will serve as a wake-up call.
Kennedy sent a pre-recorded video message to the World Health Assembly on Tuesday. In it, he criticized the World Health Organization as becoming mired in bureaucratic bloat, entrenched paradigms, conflicts of interest, and international power politics. Kennedy also said the organization worked with China to promote the false claim that COVID originated from bats or pangolins rather than from Chinese government-sponsored research at a biolab in Wuhan. Tasha Stevens reporting.
A Massachusetts federal judge ordering U.S. officials to retain custody and control of a dozen migrants allegedly deported to South Sudan. Judge Brian Murphy has yet to rule on whether the deportations violate court orders. A hearing on that scheduled for today. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
You can't even tell I'm here.
He's hiding. Of Mornings with Mike Winters.
Hey, Mike. Didn't see you come in.
There he is.
Trace Inviernos.
Must be the camouflage.
Yeah, totally.
Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yes, welcome to it.
You know, we have not discussed since the show the passing of Mr. George Wendt.
Yeah, what a
that
shocker.
was kind of a big news yesterday.
Yeah.
As Norm from Cheers left us yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, this is a lesser known or lesser remembered, not necessarily lesser remembered, but you forget that he was part of the Chicago the Bears boys.
Oh, yeah, Bears, Bears.
On SNL.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Bears. He was
the host.
Yeah, he was the main dude.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I don't, and then maybe it's just me and the algorithms of what I'm into and my age and everything else.
Sure.
I will see the occasional like celebrity deaths on there, and I'll see one or two on my feed and kind of go. But George's, I hit it where everywhere, almost everyone I'm scrolling through, you know, people commenting on the passing of Norm for Cheers, and I don't know why this one showed up on my radar way more than other ones. Maybe it's just because of what I follow and like this guy's a Norm fan. We're gonna hit him. They ain't wrong. I love that show.
Right.
But I was just amazed at the overwhelming notifications of that one, where I normally don't see that many. So that was kind of different.
Here's the thing. I mean, I think that him more than anybody else never really was able to break out of that role.
I don't think he wanted to. To be honest, George Wendt was Norm.
Yeah.
Like, he's not that extreme, but I think that's him. That's his, he's just that dude that's even-keeled all the time, funny, charismatic, but isn't going to get rattled, isn't going to, the Norm character.
Well, and I saw him.
Slightly full of crap. Not to Cliff Clavin's level, but, slightly.
I've seen him pop up in a couple of, like cameos and things, or, like, he'll show up every now and again, like a Ted Danson's new show or whatever, he'll show up in that. But he never really tacked down another big role after Norm.
I don't think he had to.
Oh, do you think he lived the rest of his life on residuals?
Oh, he was having no money issues between.
Well, I'm sure when that show got syndicated, I'm sure they all got pretty hefty payday.
Oh yeah,
but...
Cheers is. I mean, they're still collecting paychecks from Cheers, but yeah, I think that it literally. I think, like, you look at certain shows that's come after it and come since, and that he was Norm, and just and to be honest, whenever you see him in anything else in which he did other movies and things, as usually side characters, I still see Norm.
I forgot he was in Man of the House from the 90s with Chevy Chase and Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
I remember that movie.
He was in the tribe of sad white men that were trying to be Indians. Yeah,
yes, the dads. Yeah,
he was also in Little Rascals.
Yeah, I remember
that.
He pops up in a bunch of stuff.
He's been. It looks like he was in a. Okay, it looks like he might have gone the Hallmark movie route there for a minute, because he's in Santa Buddies. He was in Christmas with the Campbells, Christmas Wedding Date, Merry In-Laws. So he went.
So he played Santa on Hallmark for several years.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
All right.
Let's see. He was on Wings, but that was a long time ago.
Oh, I love Wings. Did you ever watch Wings?
Love Wings. Yeah, Tony Shalhoub.
Those are good Wings.
Made his career.
I'm not gonna lie. The female lead in that, as a boy, I found her quite fetching. What was her name? I can't remember that show. I can't remember her character's name on that show.
Let's see. I don't remember offhand.
She's the love interest, the main female lead on Wings.
Let's see.
That wasn't Lowell or Tony Shalhoub.
Crystal Bernard?
That's her.
Yeah?
That's her. Yep. Bernard. That's
she's oh yeah, I'll give it to you. You know what? She kind of had a bit of a almost like Lee Thompson look to her.
Okay.
I
again, that jives with me.
I had a thing for Leah Thompson. That's why I say it. Did you know there was a granddaddy daycare that apparently George Wendt was in?
Now I remember Daddy Daycare with Eddie Murphy,
right?
And was George Wendt the other one?
No, this movie. The cast is, oh wow, Danny Trejo.
Oh.
Barry Bostwick.
Wow.
Yeah. George Wendt, James Hong. Let's see.
So was this a sequel to Daddy Daycare?
Yeah.
With Eddie Murphy?
And probably a direct to DVD or direct to streaming.
So probably on the same DVD shelf were like the 7th American Pie movie. Anything after American Wedding, whatever they started cranking out after that.
Yeah, I would. Some people say Bandcamp, the one with Stifler's brother, but I have to say that American Wedding was probably the tie-up of the original story for
the rest of it is straight to DVD file. When the guy that now works at Applebee's is the main dude in that movie, it's
they have
Shermanator is what I'm talking about.
They have
because one of them was a Shermanator movie, wasn't it? I feel like one of those American Pies was a Shermanator.
I think it might have been, but he's currently, I think last we checked, working at like some kind of like rental store or something.
Yeah, he's out of the industry, and he was waiting tables, is what the article I read said. But.
Oh, Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Is he?
Oh, yeah.
Sean William Scott.
You know what else he was on? The last season of The Righteous Gemstones. That's
nice.
But if you're a Danny McBride fan, it's very good. If you hate Danny McBride and that kind of comedy, you're going to hate that show.
Oh, I'd imagine.
By the way, I'm almost done the Vice Principals one. And
really?
It's literally The Righteous Gemstones in a high school.
He basically does the same show every time. It's just, different, whatever the setting happens to be. Like he's currently the executive producer of that It's Florida Man show, right?
Yeah, the one I was just talking about with Don last hour.
Uh-huh.
That was off air, wasn't it? Yeah, I was talking about this show. Or was that on air? I don't remember. But anyway.
It all blends together.
Yes. Speaking of on air, we are on air. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a bit. Shortly thereafter, Gary Thrine's going to join us with the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, give us an update on events and things that are going on at the Chamber. And then later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local and local variety here, and also your sports update and Hannity update and all that good stuff as well, too. So,
yes, sir.
I know Gary's got to get going here, so let's get our hour going by getting you up to date on the weather.
Weather this hour is brought to you by Bob Reed Pest Control. Pest management for all of southeast New Mexico. No job is too big or too small. Find them online at bobreedpestcontrol.com or call today 575-623-5344. Serving all of southeast New Mexico.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Temperatures pretty warm over the next couple of days. We have high pressure parked over the Four Corners, and that'll be covering our area. We're expecting low to mid 90s today. It should be sunny. Overnight looks clear, upper 50s to about 60 on the low. Getting hot on Thursday, upper 90s and lots of sunshine. We'll hit about 100 for the high on Friday, and sunny should stay sunny through the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 59 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 27%. Winds currently out of the south at 3 miles per hour. We're expecting a high of 92 today under sunny skies. So hot, but not as hot as it's going to be. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 58. Southeast winds 5 to 10. Thursday, creeping up to 95 tomorrow under sunny skies. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Friday, sunny and hot. Highs near the century mark, 98 officially, with south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, 99 and mostly sunny. And then that's the high water mark for the weekend here. Because beginning Sunday, it starts to cool down a bit. Sunday, sunny skies, a high of 91. And then for Memorial Day, Monday, we are looking at a 20% chance at some showers, sunny and 82 otherwise. So we're going to go from like 100 on Saturday to a nice 82 Memorial Day. So welcome to New Mexico weather. All right, 9:16. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then Gary Thrine's going to join us on the other side from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Hi, everyone. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. I'm the third generation in this legacy that began with hard work and bold dreams. From Grandpa's footprints in the concrete to floor tiles laid in the 50s by my dad, Bill. Every detail of this building is a testament to our pride in providing quality furniture and service to you. On your quest for making your home beautiful and comfortable, come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you can call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers. The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
Looking to start, continue, or complete your higher education journey? Join the more than 5,700 current Greyhounds on their journey to student success. Eastern New Mexico University offers the most affordable higher education degree in the Southwest, and New Mexico residents can go to school tuition-free with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship. With online or in-person degrees, ENMU is the right choice for you. For more information, visit enmu.edu. ENMU, student success, that's what we're about.
Hey, Roswell, during these unprecedented times when others are raising prices, Roswell Ford is lowering ours with employee pricing for everyone. So you pay what we pay. Only at Roswell Ford. Make no payments for 90 days. Upside down in your current vehicle and want out early? Roswell Ford can help you get out of your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. So you can pay what we pay today with employee pricing to all customers on new Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. And our aggressive finance team will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Attention business owners, Roswell Ford has a great selection of commercial vehicles, and we have them for less. Plus, Roswell Ford offers mobile services, so our certified technicians will come to you and perform oil changes, tire rotations, batteries, recalls, and more. Contact us for details. For massive American-made savings and employee pricing for everyone. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinance to new low. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined. Expires at month's end.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Gary Thrine's back with us from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce. Good morning, Gary.
Morning.
How's life in your world this morning?
Optimistically fantastic.
Good deal. Things, well, and this is kind of that weird time where everything's busy, graduations, and everyone's got a lot going on in the world here. But, you're at the chamber, it's busy, but also things kind of tap down a little bit for the summer as a lot of other people go on vacation, other activities here. But we got a few last hurrahs here before everyone starts thinking about beaches and summer stuff.
Right. And I've discovered that we need a world map up on the wall instead of just a U.S. map up on the wall.
Well, Roswell is one of the most internationally known cities of its size, and there's people in, I'm going to say, all continents of this world that have heard of Roswell, New Mexico.
We had a couple that came all the way from Germany.
Nice.
And I went, well, if you just put a pin in the map where you're from, and they looked at the wall and it's the U.S. map, and they're like, we can't do that. I said, okay, well then would you at least sign the guest book, please?
Yeah, I have to get a few of those. Yeah, at least maybe that's the thing. Go get one of the world maps, because we do, especially during UFO festival season. I know we get folks from Europe that come here, Australia.
Right.
I've met them all at some point that they'll be here in Roswell, New Mexico, checking things out.
And those air race certifications have been going on this week.
So
and
we got a lot of out of town checking the city out and doing their thing.
Right. And I was wearing my name tag in Walmart last Saturday, and the guy was getting something. I told him, if you get two, it's cheaper. And he's like, well, I don't really have room for two. I'm not from here. I traveled 1,000 miles to get here. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, one will be fine then.
One will do you. But and they'll be continuing here through the week, I think, and then of course be back in September for the big
exactly.
But so that's going on. I know you guys have been busy with a lot of new members, ribbon cuttings. That's been kind of the menu for the last couple weeks here.
Right, we had a big ribbon cutting out at the behind the Chavez County Admin Building.
Mm-hmm.
We dedicated the walking and fitness trail, and we're probably going to come back out there and do another one later on for the VFW when they planted the trees out there.
Oh, cool!
So when they're ready to do that, we'll go back out there and do that. But we've got a big grand opening ribbon cutting coming up on the 6th of June. At 1400 West Country Club. It's the new Roswell Surgery Center, and their gala or open house is from 4 to 6, but the ribbon cutting will be promptly at 4 o'clock to start the show off. And we have some new members. We have the Cornerstone Missionary Baptist Church, and we have the Roswell Surgery Center. And then we also have Bitter Lakes Farm. They do pistachios, and I just found out that they do adobe bricks and stuff.
It was just so funny. We had them on a week or two ago on the morning show when they do. Yes, but it was a cool story because he was talking about how his mom, got got the land and decided she's going to grow pistachios, and everyone's like, wait a minute, we don't grow pistachios. Everyone's like, well, hold my beer, I'm going to grow pistachios.
Right.
And she did that. But, now he's kind of evolving it into where if you ever go out to the farm and he's got like these obelisks and things, and it's all made out of these adobe bricks. And so now they've started up an adobe brick workshop, and they're literally teaching people how to make the adobe bricks, and then they're building adobe homes out there. And the end game is to build almost like a community for homeless and things to come, build their homes, be a part, get established, get set up. And the guy's using his land to do that. So, yes, when you go out there to buy copious amounts of pistachios, check out the brick stuff. It's really cool, too. And I love kind of the concept of what they're doing out there. So that's pretty cool.
Right. And, of course, also we have the Roswell map. We're still working on updating that.
Yes,
so
the Lunar Cow.
Lunar Cow is our partner that's doing the map. And so if you get a call from them, please, decide to join the map and take out an ad. And also be expecting a phone call from me or from Andrea, because we're trying to get the map all filled up, and so we can get it
and
get it to the printers.
This is the thing, and if you're not, we've kind of explained it a few times, but this is an evolution of the paper map. Like if you come into a chamber of commerce or various things, or sometimes certain towns, they have those little things where the free homes guides are. They'll put some of these things. If you've seen them before, there's these, basically it's a paper map, and it kind of shows like a cartoonish almost thing of the town, and it'd say, hey, McDonald's is here, and this is here, and that's here. Well, with Lunar Cow, it's the best of both worlds. Yes, they still have that paper map you love and that certain people love and want to have, but they have stepped into modern technology with it here, which is the bigger advantage. And so out-of-town friends and family and things, when they're here for UFO festivals and Reno air races and coming to see you guys for various things, this Lunar Cow app will allow people, I mean, it's good for locals too, but for out-of-town folks, when they're saying, and they come to town, hey, what's a good place to eat in town? Where's a good place to hey, I got to get some shirts, or I got to get something. What's a good place? I don't want to go to the big box store. I want to go to someplace local. Where do I do that? And that's what this Lunar Cow app is. It really, it's a very
map.
affordable way to put your business in the hands of people that may or may not normally locate it, because they're just looking for a good time in town, and they're using this app to find it, and they stumble upon your business. And that's really how this thing works. And sure, the old school, when they come to the chamber and like old school, it's like, I'm here checking out aliens, I want a map. Here's your map. We got that for you. But if you want a little bit more bang for your buck, this whole app process, and the cool part is you get to update it. So like if you have sales and stuff, it's like, oh, it's UFO Festival weekend, I'm going to knock off the price of my burgers or whatever it is you're doing. You could do that through the app, and they'll be like, oh, hey, this place, they're going to half price burgers. Let's go grab lunch there.
Exactly.
That's what this is a tool for that kind of thing. And so when they do come knocking or calling, or if Gary or Andrew call you, I'd at least hear the pitch. I'm not telling you to have to do it, but I'd say it might benefit your business greatly. And I would throw, as a man who knows marketing and knows a thing or two, especially if you have a business that is based off the main thoroughfare. If your business isn't on Main Street or in the downtown corridor on 2nd, and you're trying to reach people, the customers like from UFO Festival, from place that you're a little off the beaten path, this could be that tool to bring you on the back onto the path. Because like I said, people say, I'm looking for a place to eat. They're going to get on this app, and then they're going to find your thing, and they're like, oh, okay, it's on whatever, Richardson or wherever your place is located, as opposed to Main Street or whatever, because locals are going to probably stay as familiar as they can. And that's usually the two streets it's hard to get lost on, 2nd Street, Main Street,
Right.
And so they're probably going to stick to that. So if you want to bring them to you off of that, Lunar Cow is an excellent tool that could maybe do that for you. So take the call, hear the spiel, and see if the juice is worth the squeeze for you.
Exactly. And again, also, if you're thinking about joining the chamber, or you have been a member in the past and would like to rejoin, then just give me a call or text me at 575-626-4008. That's my membership cell phone, and that's usually the best way to get a hold of me, because I carry that phone with me at all times.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the football with the president.
Exactly. Except the buttons I push don't match the buttons he pushes.
It's not handcuffed to his. It's not handcuffed to his wrist. I think that's just the movies. But anyway, but yeah, and of course, if you're like you said, if you're new business or you do business in and around Chavez County, but your business may not be here necessarily, then I invite you to look into a membership at the chamber.
And if you've done any remodeling and want to have have me bring the Redcoats out and do a grand reopening after your remodel, then I'm all about contacting the Redcoats and letting them know.
Absolutely.
And if you're thinking about joining the Redcoats, if you work for a business that is a member of the chamber, then I would love to talk to you about becoming a Redcoat and representing your company.
Absolutely. We're always looking for volunteers. And that's the thing is the Redcoats are a very busy organization. Ideally, a couple times a week they've got an event going on. And to meet those needs, we need a lot of members because sometimes these are during the day and depending, some members are available and aren't available. So if there's a large pool, then generally speaking, there's enough Redcoats that can come to an event that's 2 p.m. on Tuesday, even though some are still working, or vice versa.
Right.
That's the beauty of it. But if you're interested in, and I always call them, they're the class of the chamber. I've always been saying that's kind of they're our classy part that makes us look good. And if you want them to have at your event, or if you want to volunteer, they always we have a loyal group of volunteers, and they've been doing it for a long time. But some of them are, I think, about ready to step on to the next phase of lives and kind of spend more time with family and less time doing things like this.
Exactly.
So we need the next group, the next generation to kind of come in and start volunteering and getting a part of it.
Exactly. And also, don't forget, Thursday evenings, business after hours. If your company would like to host a business after hours, it's been a while since we had one, and we're getting into the nice weather now. Yeah. So let's get some business after hours scheduled and just give me a holler and we'll make that happen.
Absolutely. Again, you can go to the website, the Chamber's website, which I always botch. It's roswellnm.com, right?
Org.
Org.org. roswellnm.org. Or call the Chamber direct, and I'm going to leave that one over to you. You don't know it either?
That's why I give him my cell phone number. I can never remember that landline
I need
number.
To look that up and keep it right here on the thing. So call Gary Sell, and then of course we are on social media as well. Look for Roswell Chamber of Commerce on Facebook and I believe Instagram, and then we'll get back to you on those too. So good deal.
Exactly. All right, Mike. That's
you got it.
Pretty much it for what's going on,
good
and
deal.
I love to hear from y'all. Give me a holler and let's talk. I love all the tourists that come in and give them. I keep teasing everybody that someday I'm going to start a tourist business here in this town.
Well, if you do, please get a double-decker bus and then just go up and down Main Street on a microphone. So
there we go.
There we go. But in the meantime, you can find Gary at the Chamber until he finds that tour bus and does that. So.
Exactly.
As always, appreciate the visit, and we'll see you here in a couple weeks.
Absolutely.
And
Thank
stay
you.
Cool on this.
Have
one.
a blessed week.
You do the same, and enjoy your Memorial Day weekend.
Well, I have my anniversary's on Friday.
So you've got bigger things to attend to on that particular front.
I have my lovely bride to take care of on Friday, and we are going to have a great day.
Nice. Enjoy. Thank you, Gary. It is 9:32. Let's do this. Let's pause for news. We'll take a break as well, and then we'll come back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. Don't go away. We'll be back.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. 3 people have been arrested in Artesia after a multi-state investigation into an armed home invasion. The crime took place in the Yavapai County, Arizona community of Seligman. The trio broke into a man's home there, held him at gunpoint, and stole valuables and guns worth about $50,000. Detectives tracked the suspects to Artesia. Jail records show they are Marcela Reyes, Israel Lopez, and Pedro Esquivel. The trio is being held for armed robbery, aggravated robbery, theft, kidnapping, and trafficking in stolen property. Two groups in Roswell are teaming up to keep families cool this summer. Westlake Ace Hardware and the Salvation Army are kicking off their annual fan drive this week. It is a community campaign that provides new box fans for those in need, and it is 100% funded by customer donations. Until June 7th, you can round up your purchase total at the hardware store and donate it to the cause. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Tim Walz is delivering the commencement address at the University of Minnesota Law School, being ripped for using, the term. Some would say, boy, this is getting way too political for a commencement address, he said. But I would argue I wouldn't be honoring my oath if I didn't address this head on. I'm going to start with the flashing red light, Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo. Here we go. It worked so well for him in the final arguments of this campaign. Nazi, fascist, racist, Hitler, Stalin, Mussolini. Might as well stick with what fails and fails dramatically. Chris Murphy, Connecticut. We have a madman in the Oval Office because Dems failed to oust Biden. Oh, now they're all mad that they all knew Biden was a mess. They only have themselves to blame.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
Pure Talk, my wireless company, a veteran-owned company, believes every man, every woman who has faithfully served this country deserves to proudly fly an American flag that was made in America. And that's why Pure Talk is on a mission to give an allegiance flag, the highest quality American flag made in Charleston, South Carolina, to 1,000 veterans in time for these patriotic holidays. Just switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk. Do it this month, and a portion of every sale will go to provide these high-quality flags, hand-sewn to the deserving vets. Now, with plans starting at just $25 a month for unlimited talk and text and plenty of data, you can enjoy America's most dependable 5G network, all while cutting your cell phone bill in half. Average family saves over $1,000 a year. You just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now. Pure Talk's customer service will make the switch. Pound 250, keyword save now, support our veterans, and switch to America's wireless company, Pure Talk.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. The state track and field championships took place over this past weekend, and Jose Porras from Goddard had a good day. He's only a sophomore for the Rockets, and he was first in the boys 4A high jump, and then he also was third in the boys long jump. Congratulations to Jose. Roswell had some representation going on in the 5A meet. 5A boys, Roswell was third in the 1600 sprint medley relay. Cy Carrasco, senior for the Coyotes, you've heard his name before. He was second in the triple jump. Noah Lynn was third in the boys shot put. And on the girls' side, Emma Esquivel was second in the javelin throw. Congratulations to all of you guys for terrific efforts at the state meet. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Target missed Wall Street's target for sales in the first quarter. Sales tumbled in Q1, and the discount retailer is cutting its full-year outlook. Target stock fell about 4% pre-market. Target says it now expects a low single-digit decline in sales for 2025 and adjusted earnings per share to be anywhere from $7 to $9. Oil prices are moving higher, rising close to 1% after a CNN report cited unnamed intelligence officials saying that Israel may be preparing for an attack on Iranian nuclear facilities. U.S. benchmark crude oil gained 50 cents to $62.53 per barrel. It was a good first quarter for home improvement retailer Lowe's. It hit Wall Street sales and profit targets, Lowe's keeping its forecast for the year unchanged. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Are you ready to succeed? At ENMU Roswell, they cater to your educational needs. Their dedicated facilities and faculties provide you with an exceptional learning experience. From academic programs to behavioral sciences, business, health education, or technical education, ENMU Roswell offers a wide variety of certifications and degree programs designed to take your education and experience to the next level. Register now on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Success starts here.
Do you want to improve the appearance of your smile or increase your self-esteem and confidence? Many people have already chosen to update their smile with veneers. Here at Carabelli Dental in Roswell, we work with our patients to understand their smile goals. With veneer treatment, we can eliminate gaps between teeth, solve the problems of stained teeth, and even perfect uneven or misshaped teeth. You owe it to yourself to have the smile you know is possible. Call us now.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 9:39. So we got a few minutes here before we wrap up today's show. So I thought we got some time. Let's Carrie Moore with the Chaves County Health Council joined us back on May 12th to talk about the really what they've got going on. But the big thing was gearing up here for the big health expo that they do here in August, usually during summertime. Now's the time to start signing up. They have some deadlines here at the end of the month to early bird to sign your groups up to be a part of this year's Health Expo and Health Fair, which obviously will be in a new location this year because the Convention Civic Center is not available. It will be at the Roswell Mall this year. So we had a great conversation with her about that. So we will play that for you right now. Here's our conversation. Carrie Moore and the Chaves County Health Council. Enjoy. And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock, and now officially joining us in studio this morning, Carrie Moore with the Chaves County Health Council. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I am fantastic.
And
I had cookies this morning.
Got the sugar coursing through the vein. You're good to go. So, very good. What? The big thing that we, for folks that don't know, the Chaves County Health Council, and I say this every time, they're one of the big things that people know right now every day is they are the ones that they are the when you call 211. If you need information about medical services or flood services right now or any of that stuff, when you call 211, you're going to get the Chaves County Health Council. They're the purveyors of that 211.
So in the state, all 211s are operated by the United Way.
Gotcha.
Chaves County is the only one that is different. So when you call 211, you're getting the Health Council.
Gotcha.
United Way in Chaves County doesn't do individual assessments, I guess. They work within the nonprofit community.
Gotcha.
And then they have us deal with the public on that. So we are getting a lot of people who are calling wanting United Way, but that's not where your connection is. It is through the Health Council with the 211.
Very good. So if you're in Eddy or Lee and you use their 211, you're probably talking to United Way folks.
To United Way, yep. Everywhere else in the state.
And yes, it originally was if you're new to town looking for a doctor or you need help with WIC or those kind of things, that's there. But since the flooding, it is also kind of adapted to anything kind of FEMA at this point or anything flood related. Getting resources, offering resources. The Health Council has been the conduit here in Chaves County.
Right. And to an extent, the fire in Ruidoso as well, because we do still have some people in Roswell from Ruidoso. They've just kind of stayed here because there was no place to go back.
And then they got hit with flooding after fires.
Right.
They've seen it all. But also, the other things that folks would know the Health Council for is the other big thing is their annual health expo that they have usually right around back to school time there in August. And it's kind of a two serves where, yes, we do all the offering health services and different things, but it's also serves as helping families kind of get their kids ready for school. And they, thanks to the donations of the various booths at the fair,
right,
or at the expo that we give away school supplies and backpacks and all that.
Right. Yeah. So we set it up so that way we give out backpacks to all the kids in Chaves County. So it's not just the Roswell schools. It is anybody inside Chaves County. And then when we have leftovers at the end, we will take them down to the valley. And that way we make sure that kids in Dexter, Hagerman, in Lake Arthur all have access to backpacks if they weren't able to make it up to Roswell for the Health Expo. This year we have lucked out. We've got the Department of Health mobile unit, so they're going to do vaccines.
Okay.
Back to school vaccines. They're at the event, so that way the kids can get those before they go in. They're also going to bring in their software stuff so that they can do birth certificates.
Okay.
So it's trying to make sure that we can get all the kids ready to go back to school because they will go to school that following week.
So all their ducks in a row, shot records, birth certificates, whatever they're needing to go to school.
They can access it right there.
Yeah, and then on top of that, if they need school supplies, they need stuff, they're going to be doing the giveaways and all that stuff.
Right. Too. And it's not just about the kids, so it's the full community. So, it's pre-birth.
Yeah.
Is that
pre-birth?
Pre-birth, is that the right word?
Prenatal? Yeah, there you go.
I like pre-birth.
Pre-birth sounds cooler though. Yeah.
Pre-birth to afterbirth.
I need some post-birth health care. So just health care.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
No, post-death health care is a different area we haven't breached yet.
Right, but we're trying to get some of the funeral homes to come in because they need to be able to do an assessment so you can pre-plan your funeral expenses.
Save your family a lot of headache and time when because when that time comes, there's enough going on usually. Now, if all those arrangements are made, that's one less thing. So.
Yeah, I went and I found me a planning book on it. It was sorry, I'm dead now. It's your mess.
Right.
But that's the clean version of it.
Sure.
And I'm like, this is kind of fun. We should really do something like this and get it more official.
Yeah.
And so, working on that. Some financial planning stuff. The banks need to be part of this because finances, making sure that you have a healthy cash flow in your house.
Right.
Is health related because if you're stressed out because you can't manage your bills, that affects everything.
Well, when the breadwinner dies, sometimes families are left in the lurch, and without a plan, that's where it gets bad, and that's how they're left in the lurch. And so yeah, it's and that's what you said last time we talked. You said this is kind of an overall health, so things that you're not necessarily designate as a healthcare related thing. Is when we talk about it's even like you said, retirement planning, things that create mental health stresses, things that human beings have trouble navigating without running into hurdles and obstacles and stress. These are available at the Health Expo to help you navigate it. So if you're thinking, I do need to plan for retirement. I do need to, what's going to happen if I'm not here anymore? There's folks there that can. So that's health too. It's not okay. We're not doing. Now, and the stuff you think of, you want your glucose screenings and all the blood, donating blood, blood pressure checks, all that stuff will be there.
Well, we're hoping. With it being at the mall this year, things are going to be a little different.
Right,
we're not quite sure how things are going to flow through. So, we'll see what happens as we're doing this. We're still taking, so right now we're in the early bird booth registration piece.
Okay.
And that means that if you are a business, nonprofit, whatever, if you are promoting health and wellness, the booth is only $25.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's for 10 to 2. So for a half day to reach about 1,000 people, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
After the 30th, then it'll jump up to $50 a booth. So you really kind of want to get in there and lock it in now.
Yeah. Save you some money.
Yep. I don't know how many spaces I'll have because, again, whole new venue. And
this is new. Yeah, for folks that don't know, the tradition is it's always at the Convention and Civic Center. As we all know, that's not available right now.
Right.
So the Roswell Mall is kind enough to be the host for this year's event, but it creates different logistics and things. And but at the same time, it also creates new opportunities and new cool things that maybe you didn't get to experience at previous health expos that will be available at this one. So it's a mixed bag. Like it's a new location. It's good and bad, just like everything else when something's new.
Right. Yep. So we've got that going on, and then this week is kind of a busy week for us. So this week it's the second Wednesday of the month. So that's our monthly health council meeting.
Which, if you're interested in becoming more involved, come on to the meeting. They'd love to have you.
Well, in this one, we're going to do our community health improvement plan. So this is the way it works. This is how the health council does. There's 50,000 different organizations that take community assessments to find out what everybody in the state needs. And then they break it down by where we're at. And then we create these community health improvement plans. And that's what we focus on how to help make Chaves County better and the areas that we need to focus in. So this will be kind of like ending up our last plan and seeing where we're at, what we need to address and move on. And then so that will happen on Wednesday during our health council meeting. And then on Thursday, the state is doing a community conversation, which is around the same exact thing.
Gotcha.
So, but this is figuring out from 2026 to 2028.
Okay.
And so they're looking for those that are currently involved in healthcare or the nonprofits or anybody who in the community who wants to help direct and guide how these plans are put together needs to be part of these conversations. This one is going to be a hybrid meeting. So everywhere else in the state, it's all done via Zoom. But because we have access to a fairly large meeting room, we're going ahead and do it as a hybrid.
Okay.
So that's going to be Thursday from 10 to 2 at 500 North Main. Or for more information, again, you can get with 211, and we can get you the stuff on that one. And so the state comes up with some weird names. So their assessment or their health planning thing is called CHIP, Community Health Improvement Plan, CHIP. And
which
so
nobody, when they hear CHIP, thinks that.
Exactly. And then their collaborative group is called SALSA. And I can't tell you what all it stands for, but literally it's all chips and salsa.
At least that's happier.
Yeah. So for this hybrid meeting that we're doing on Thursday, I said, you know what? Well, I'll just bring you some chips and salsa.
There we
So,
go.
we're just going to have that. And then there's still time right now to register for May 28th, which is 100% Chaves County.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing the opioid settlement.
Oh, for the
funding.
So they're discussing on what to do with this money, or
Yeah, so this is a summit. So this is a full day event out at the college.
Okay.
But you need to register for it to be able to participate because
it's free to sign up, but you do need to sign up.
Yeah, but because it's limited to like about 100 people on it.
Well, I'm sure space is limited and whatever.
Space in Roswell is limited everywhere now, due to all kinds of things.
Look, if you got a meeting space, you can make bank. You got a good one.
if you got a good one, especially if it's big enough, and there's a lot building them right now because of this.
Yeah, well, we've learned the void that causes by not having a convention center, huh?
Yeah.
We're learning really, really quickly.
Yeah. But the opioid settlement summit, you can go to 100%chavescounty.com, or again 211. We can get you the information so that you can get registered for that, or give you more information on it. This is something that I think is fantastic because we do have some major issues with, drug abuse.
Absolutely.
And
anybody who says different, they're lying to themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we are actually doing something new. So been looking at trying to come up with a youth initiative.
Mm-hmm.
And so came up with a different plan. We're calling it ZAG because it's a Z and Alpha Generation
Okay.
Business Fair.
Okay.
So we have it's not founding. It's it's our first meeting so that we can get all of those that want to be part of this together and start planning it and getting it going.
Okay.
But basically 6 to 17-year-olds can create a business, and then we will have a fair where they can sell their products.
So they can make create their own business legitimately.
Right, and that's working with
cool.
getting their business licenses and making sure that they're complete legal to do it. And then we're working on being able to get enough funding through donors to give them the seed money to start. Because part of starting a business is you have to have money. You have to have money to make money.
You need more than an idea.
Right. And so we don't want it to hinder anybody. So we will set it up so that there's seed money so that you can start your project. We're going to do it where you have to actually come and talk to the Shark Tank.
Oh, cool.
You have to pitch your ideas.
Cool. So very kind of create that Shark Tank experience.
Right. And it'll be a full create a business plan. You got to do a budget. It is going to be a true learning experience. And this will teach. So the idea is that it's done just before we go into the Christmas season.
Okay.
So then after you sell, if you decide that you want to continue selling your product, that there will be several opportunities within the next month.
Continue this on to be possibly a legitimate full-time business for you someday.
Right, and especially with the health fair, or with not the health fairs, with the Christmas fairs and the arts fairs coming up, you can just kind of like slide right into
Some
that.
of those are disappearing too with the lack of the. They're trying to find other ways to do it, but again, learning that we need this convention.
Yeah, don't get me started.
Yeah. But that sounds really cool, and it really, to be honest, if one of these students just dive in with this with both feet, so to speak, who knows? You might be the next Roswell Seed sitting there. You know what I mean? 100 years from now, we're talking about their business. You never know.
This is a fantastic opportunity. Again, it's that seed money that I think is the big kicker on it. Because when we were looking at it, when other communities are doing it, no, there's no money to do this. You pay us to get your booth, and it's like, I don't feel right profiting off kids, right?
Sure. It feels like a scam.
Yeah, and it did. I mean, as a parent, and especially when you're living in an area that's low income, and we all know Chaves County is a low income area, it's not quite right. And every kid has that opportunity because, they may have the best, next, greatest idea, but no way to do it.
Sure.
And so let's help them.
Absolutely. This is good stuff.
See, this is how health comes. It's all aspects of life.
Absolutely. Health is a term. It's happy, happy and healthy. Those are all synonymous with each other. And you could be the epitome of, your blood pressure's perfect, this and that, but if you don't have plans for the future, then your mental health deteriorates. And health is not just, eat right and exercising. Health is everything. Everything that's your body and impacts your world, your life, and the good things and the bad, that's your health. And all of it impacts it equally, whether it's like, you eat a bunch of junk food, you're going to get fat. Well, guess what? You deal with a bunch of stress and things, your brain's going to go crazy too, and you got to deal with that. And that's it's all the same at the end of the day. But part of that too is when you create the foundations and create the opportunities, then the worries become less. I mean, it's a small business. If you're going to have worries, come on, it's a business. But at the end of the day, you're not worried about how am I going to start it, how am I going to fund it, how am I going to market it, how am I, these things they're learning at that level, and so they can focus on I love the widget, but now I've learned how to market said widget, how to turn this widget into a profitable thing for me.
Right. And so where everybody says that kids need something to do, this gives them something to do. This will give them a plan on how that they can make money a legit way to be able to move forward.
Not to mention it's going to broaden them and prepare them for whatever, like, you know what? They might do this and say, dang it, I don't want to be my own business owner. But guess what? Now they got all these tools, they got all these things, and they can take that and apply it to what they want to do next.
Right. That's
the beauty of it. And, because, we talk with kids, and, sometimes they're excited till they're not anymore. But regardless, there is foundational learning experiences for these kids that even if they don't start their own business someday, the things they're going to learn will serve them well in what path they choose.
Yep. And if it's done right, it'll stick with them.
Exactly.
And the goal is to do it right.
So if all this is getting overwhelming for you, don't forget, call 211. And we'll be happy to
we can get you the information,
sign it up and things like, because I know we're hitting you with a lot of dates and a lot of other things right now. But big thing is, if you want to be a part of the Health Expo, now's the time to sign up.
Get your booth.
Get your booth. Do that here before the end of the month. Otherwise, you're going to cost you a little bit more. Save you some money. Get it done this month. Get that locked in. Get that done. That way, Carrie and her staff don't have to. That's one less thing they got to work.
And
so do that. And then, of course, please reach out if you're interested in more about this entrepreneurship opportunity with your children, or if you have any more questions about the opioid meeting to learn about what to do with some of that funding. Again, my personal opinion, fix mental health, you fix opioid, just saying.
Well, and that's a lot of it. So
I point back
which goes to these community health improvement plans, chips and salsa. We got to bring all that back into it.
And if you have any questions about that, 211.
211.
Or don't forget the Chaves County Health Council has a Facebook page. I highly recommend you like and follow it. And if you have any questions or anything there, you can, like if you're got something, I know some people have thoughts and over the phone. If you want to combine your thoughts and put them in paper form or in a text form, that would be awesome. We can do that.
Text, call, email, website. We're out there.
Yeah. And if you're wanting to know more about the Health Council, please reach out. They're always looking for more volunteers and people that want to get involved with the community. There's a lot of people that serve through the Health Council that they're doing it just because they want a good community. They may not necessarily be a healthcare expert or this expert, but by being in the room and helping out wherever they can. That's what they're doing. And Health Council needs all kinds of those.
And that's me. I have no background in healthcare at all.
That's
I
right.
do in food, but no
I was
healthcare.
gonna say, yeah, she could cook you some mean sandwich, but yeah, she's not a doctor.
Yeah. And I don't pretend to play one on TV
That's
either.
right, either. Didn't stay at the Holiday Express. Did not figure that one out. So awesome. Did we get it all?
I think we got it all.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, and we'll see you here in a couple weeks. And again, reach out 211. That's the be-all catch-all. Anything you want to know more about that you just don't understand, call 211. Please be mindful that's not a 24-hour hotline. So during business hours would be appreciated there.
Yep, or leave a voicemail.
And if you do have a medical emergency, 911 all the time. That's the number. Live it, learn it, live by it. That's the deal. So thank you very much. We'll see you here next time here.
All right.
We're going to pause for more from the Health Council talking about the upcoming their annual Health Expo. And it kind of works out because normally she'd be back on Monday. I send her a note, unless she's listening. We won't be having a show on Monday because of Memorial Day. We'll be back with a new show on Tuesday of next week. So we want to get you in on to talk about that a little bit. Of course, we got another minute or so left here before they're going to kick me off the radio. If you missed any part of today's show, I invite you to always go back and check it out at your leisure. Just log on to ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find all of our interviews there. This morning, we first played our interview we had yesterday with the folks from the Chaves County Extension Office talking about fair season, 4-H, all that good stuff. Don Weld with Friends of Bitter Lake joined us in the 8 o'clock hour discussing, they've got their member meeting coming up on the 21st, and just talk a little bit about Dragonfly Festival. They've selected the art winner for this year's festival. They have not announced it yet. They will do that here, I think, in the next day or so. And then we had Gary Thrine join us this hour from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce talking about a few new businesses, encouraging folks to become a part of the Roswell Chamber, things like that. And then, of course, just a few minutes ago, we wrapped up that interview we had with Carrie Moore from the Health Council there. So all of that you can find when you get a chance, ksvptv.com, in the Mornings with Mike Winters channel there. Don't forget, we will have graduations for you Thursday, Friday, and Saturday as well, ksvptv.com. All right, that's going to do it for us. Have an amazing day. We will talk to you bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. Take care, everybody.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. House Republicans will soon vote